before you go dipping your hand into any snack bowls, do you want to go wash your diseased hands?
I will. I got the Angie's popcorn because I said I was going to bring that. Twizzlers.
Okay.
And I got the tropical hazy mixed pack from Firestone Walker.
Whoa.
So
they're all tropical. They're all a different kind of tropical IPA. Like this is what passes for a like a variety pack, like 3 different kinds of tropical IPA.
Looks like we got Tiki Smash.
Okay.
Tropical, or no, I'm sorry, Hopical Crush. See what they did there?
I see. I get it.
And Citrus Cyclone. Is that what that says?
You can't see it without your glasses.
Citrus Cyclone. Well, it's like
Cyclone. They've done a weird thing with the font there. I'm gonna see why we're not showing my fights that I've paid for at this point. Oh, here we go. There's Donald fucking Trump. Jesus Christ. They're not really going to make me listen to this Trump shit, are they? I did not pay for the Trump broadcast. I want everybody to know that.
What do you say to those who are like, what's Donald Trump doing at boxing events? Well, I've known every one of these fighters for a long time, and they're great. Anderson Silver.
Man, this motherfucker just said, I've known every one of these fighters for a long time, and they're great. Anderson Silver. Come on. Come on. So I'm not gonna lie to you, this is gonna be some shit in a lot of different ways. We got Carl the puppy here. Everybody wants to see what Carl's up to. That's Carl right there. He is little, but he is quite the escape artist. He's the sweetest boy who ever lived. He'll just be wandering around here. Oh. Wait a minute. I think what Mario Lopez just told me, Chad, is that if I want to watch the Donald Trump commentary, I should use the SAP feature where Spanish language audio is typically found, which what you're going to tell me is that instead of a Spanish language version, we're doing Donald Trump.
I mean, that sounds like a dream come true for him. What's going on here?
These guys are going to play. See, is this your first Trillers?
I've never watched the Trillers all the way through.
Okay, they like to do a lot of entertainment. I'm gonna do this with my fingers when I say entertainment. They like to do a lot of this kind of stuff. So even though they have like 4 fights scheduled, it's gonna take like 4 hours.
Okay.
Because they like to do a lot of this stuff.
This is my first time at your house.
Yeah, it's my new house.
Nice house.
It is a nice house.
It's I thought your children were going to be here.
They're in my daughter's room watching an iPad.
Wow. Okay, it's very quiet in here.
Mm-hmm.
This would not happen if my children were here.
Well, we'll see how long it happens here. It has just begun. Just moments before you walked in the door. Hey, the People's Fang says, first watch party for me. Welcome.
Yeah.
God damn it. Well, these typically devolve really quickly.
You should click on over, if you can go to the Patreon page and see if there's anybody on there asking us how they join up for this thing.
What I will have to say to them at this late hour. Augusto Leon wants to know how deep into the gummies we are.
No gummies have been ingested, but we have a lot of snacks.
Okay, we do have a lot of snacks.
I mean, it looks like we have maybe one new message over there.
Well, there we go. How does it get his link to the watch party?
Well, if he signed up earlier, he should have already gotten one.
Okay, well, that's what I'll tell him. 'em. 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 'em.
I'm sure if he didn't, we can probably get him a link, right?
I don't know. I don't know anything about anything that's happening here. What do you think Donald Trump is saying about this performance over on the SAP function?
Oh, beautiful. One of the most beautiful performances I've ever seen.
I did not. I tuned into Donald Trump stuff just in time to hear him saying about how something was really a shame, but the country's going to come back stronger.
Okay.
And it's like, he could be talking about anything.
Yeah.
He could be talking about 9/11 itself.
Uh-huh.
He could just be talking about the stolen election.
He could be talking about Oscar de la Hoya bowing out of the Vitor Belfort
He
fight.
could be talking about California and not licensing this event.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to check on my daughters and maybe give them a cheeseburger. Curse Diamonds notes that getting a link is probably going to be a major theme tonight. I see what he did there.
Mm-hmm. So I just arrived 5 minutes ago. So far, the only thing that I've seen is this live performance from these gentlemen who are either wrapping up or they're just about to start another song. They got some pyro going off on stage. You know what this does is it brings a real Florida atmosphere to the proceedings here. Having these two guys get up here and play their music. Uh-oh. You guys hear that? Carl yelped. Oh, the Ring Girls are loving it though. I mean, these guys have been, they've been going for a while. They've been, their performance has been going for a while. Oh, look at this guy in the back with the trumpet. I don't know, you guys. Okay. I think these guys are wrapping it up from the thunderous ovation they got. It sounds like there are maybe like 15 people at this. Mario Lopez just gave a shout out to the millions of Triller fans.
Joe, the billionaire Fournier. Now, what happens when good friends talk smack and no one backs down? Well, the battle of the brothers. Take a look at this.
You know, Mario Lopez looking pretty good. I have no idea how old he is, but definitely knows where they keep the weights. We got a battle between friends, brother battle between brothers coming up here apparently. What's up, Carl? How you doing, buddy? Can you guys see Carl? He's just an adorable dog. Oh, hi, buddy. How you doing? David Hay is a person I've definitely heard of before. Tracy Brand in the house. Shout out to the other Tracy. I really should have brought my glasses. Then I would be able to see these comments.
Featuring our opening matchup between David Hay and Joe Fournier. We are here at ringside Rainforest alongside Showtime Sean Porter. Privileged to be with all of you for Triller Fight Club here on pay-per-view.
Look at the announcers for Trillers. Really showing out with the wardrobe. Clearly not a UFC broadcast where everyone would just be wearing a black t-shirt and a black blazer.
But I know between these two friends, both of them are like, hey, this is all about business. So David,
Keeping the house lights really low here. I don't feel like we got a huge crowd in attendance.
I think he just wants to prove to himself that he can stand in there with David Hay. He's got to beat David Hay. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to watch. I think when it
During the pre-fight press conference, Joe Fournier doubled down and he said, I'm going to knock out David Hay in one round.
Whoa. David Fournier predicting a first-round knockout of David Hay here.
he means it. Okay, so let's start there. He means it, which means he believes in it. He said it to me. I can say it now on air. He said, I'm going right at him in the first round. And he thinks that the layoff that David Hay has been on, that's going to show up and be relevant in the first round. He says that his best opportunity is going to be in the first round. I believe that.
In answer to Billy's question, Ben had to go fix his daughter's dinner. We expect him back any moment. We don't have the Donald Trump audio feed going. So if anybody has that going on their pay-per-view stream, you can give us some updates about what the big man is saying, what kind of analysis he's bringing to the table about these fights. That would be good to know.
He goes, I'm going to take him into deep waters and punish him, and he wants to extend the fight, and he even when it starts to say
Tracy Brand is excited about getting the unfiltered discourse without having to watch this potential garbage. She just finished power washing the house. Now she's going to get in a touch of painting. I don't know if this is still the pre-show, Justin Pitts. I just got here, so we're starting this thing together. So far, I've seen one musical performance, and now we're waiting for David Hay against David Fournier, which I believe is the scheduled first fight on the main card. Pretty big weight disparity here between David Hay and Joe Fournier. Pretty big size difference all the way around. Oh, Sean Wheelock. Joe Fournier and David Hay are about to do the damn thing.
Okay. Big news, everybody. Carl pooped outside. So that's good.
Yeah.
It's a good sign for us. got that taken care of.
That is good.
Also,
This is Carl's pay-per-view debut
yeah,
as well.
I have big news. I believe that I have successfully enticed Sir Nigel to join us.
Oh, wow. Okay.
His first request was that I had to send a G5 to pick him up. And I was like, you live blocks away. But he was like, you know what? Trump lives like an hour away and he got the G5.
That's
And
true.
I was like,
Yeah.
all right.
And if anything, Sir Nigel's resume is more impressive.
Yeah. We settled on an Uber, but one of the nice ones.
Okay.
Like one of the ones that you have
An
to
Uber
get to
XL?
so you have to pick you up from like the good airport.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out.
Now, when I saw Michael Buffer on stage during the pre-fight face-offs, he was looking pretty decrepit, I have to say. Tonight it's fight night. You got him out there in the ring. And
What are you
looking,
suggesting?
He's looking like the same as he always looked. I mean, when I first tuned into the face-offs, I was like, who's this old man that they have on stage? And then I was like, wait, I recognize those golden tones. Is that Michael Buffer? Sure enough, it is. He made a crack about how he finally gets to announce a couple of guys tonight that his brother made a career out of announcing.
So are you suggesting that he has injected the blood of infants between
Like
yesterday
all
and today?
public address announcers do.
Mhm.
It's how they get their voice to sound that way.
Do you think that there was like a text exchange between Michael Buffer and Jim Lampley where he was like, come on, man, you're going to leave me out here hanging? Like, you going to leave me twisting in the wind all by myself? Now, how do I look now that you said like that this shit is beneath you?
He was
And
probably
now-
like, I already got us a dinner reservation for the night before. Oh, Joe Fournier's sombrero's getting caught up in the ropes.
That'll
there.
happen. That'll happen.
Hey, buddy.
So far, I've found that the book on Carl is that he is a great friend as long as you allow him to go absolutely everywhere you go.
Okay.
Just follow along. He listens pretty well for a puppy anyway. He may knock over this tripod that's holding up our webcam at some point or get himself tangled in these wires. But also, he really likes to eat. And when he is not eating at a time when he feels that he should be eating, he will pick up his dish like a cartoon dog and come to you with it.
Oh, that's adorable.
Just bring it. It is adorable the first time. It's even adorable the second time. The third time, you start to realize you have a problem.
Yeah.
And that he's just going to keep doing it.
I mean, he seems like kind
Yeah,
of an
of
incro.
course
He's
he
chewing on the wires right now, you guys. He's as soft as an angel.
Oh,
Here,
ooh.
Carl, you gonna get that, buddy?
We don't want to encourage a. You like guacamole? What are your thoughts, Carl?
What are you drinking?
Red Hook Big Ballard Imperial IPA.
It's 8.6% alcohol. It says in huge letters on the can.
I came to party.
Okay.
I don't know about you.
Yeah,
I don't have to drive home. I live here.
that's true.
Here, lick this. Clean this up.
Look at the trunks on David Hay.
David Hay has to be looking at this. Like the face David Hay is making right now, that's like, I'm on the undercard of this shit. Really? Okay. Fuck you guys.
I mean, those, I know in boxing we got a different style ethos going on here, but those trunks are, those are enormous.
Well, I feel like we got to read this dispatch from Andrew Millington. It says, good evening, gentlemen. I just gleefully watched Ohio State lose in the watering hole down the street that somehow is the designated Ohio bar in Corpus Christi, Texas. I made roughly 8 lifelong enemies in the span of 10 seconds and can never return. How's your night going?
Yeah, Ohio State lost to my Oregon Ducks tonight.
Oh, okay. Aruj Islam just says 8.6% LFG. Scott Guillory knows not a venom fight kid in sight. So what time does the Grizz game start tonight?
6.
Okay, that's going to be right around the time when like maybe this shit is actually starting to get real.
I got to be real honest with you.
Hey.
As I got in my car to drive over here at about 4:40, it was real hard for me not to just drive to the stadium and go to our guy Lando's tailgate and just, miss the Trillers and just kind of hang out
Just
in the
walk
parking
on up.
lot
He'd be
of the
thrilled to see
stadium.
you.
Oh, he would be, yeah.
Might not have any recollection tomorrow of seeing you.
That's the thing about Lando's tailgate is that you can just hang out at it for the whole game if you want to. You don't have to go in.
Nope.
He oftentimes does not. So we got 8 2-minute rounds here again for David Hay.
Are we doing that to them so that it doesn't look weird when we do it later on?
Maybe. Fournier has vowed to go straight at David Hay in the first round. He says he's calling a first round knockout.
Well, he's going straight at him. I
Yeah,
can't
he
say
is.
he's not.
These guys are good friends. It has been described as a bout between brothers.
Okay. Well, now I feel like the stakes just got raised because I really hope that they remain friends.
Yeah.
I hope that this doesn't tear them apart.
Actually turned Joe Fournier pro years ago, but Fournier said that David Hayes got injury problems. He goes, he's a quarterback that's broken down, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to teach him a lesson, and I'm going to test how good physically he feels because he thinks he's a broken down.
Got Carl this bed,
Yeah.
which I have no idea how big this dog's going to get
Yeah.
because
That's a
no
big
one can
bed.
even really tell you what breed of dog he is.
That's the king size bed right there.
And yet your choices when you look at beds down at the PetSmart thing, it's like a bed that is exactly the size that he is now or a bed that's giant.
Yeah.
I figure he's 3 months old. He's got to get a little bigger.
It's good to get him a big bed.
And it can fit a child or two, which has been a thing they've been taking advantage of.
I have not had a dog since I was a child, but all of my experience with having pets in the past is that if you buy them a bed, it will be the last place that they sleep. But so far, it looks like Carl's taken to it.
Really? I mean, I feel like dogs,
Maybe-
it's pretty easy to get them to sleep in a dog bed. Cats will sleep on a cat bed, but also everywhere else. Okay, here's a thing I learned when Carl got loose, is that while looking, well, we're gonna call that a knockdown? Okay. Well, here's where that 2-minute round comes in really handy.
Well, you can't be saved by the bell either, they said at the beginning.
I mean, but it
I
helps
need to see a replay.
if you
of
did
this,
get knocked down and actually hurt by a punch there, it helps that you don't have a minute more of fighting to go. Just though, I mean, the energy that David Hay is bringing to this feels very sparring session-esque.
Yeah, and he still knocked the other guy down. I would like to see a replay of that since I'll be honest, I wasn't paying that close of attention
You listen to Carl's story.
before it happened.
But
One
when-
of Fournier's cornermen has a iPod, AirPod
yeah,
thing in his
AirPods.
ear. If it was me, I'd be like, it's the fight. Can I get your full attention? Can I
Well-
get your complete attention during the fight? You can listen to your podcasts after it's over.
If I was the opponent, I'd be like, like, what are we getting somebody watching the broadcast and trying to pick up on some stuff to like, is he on the phone?
Maybe. I don't know. Like one of those, he's like a cab driver who's on the phone the whole time you're in his cab. I mean, I guess that was a knockdown. He hit him with a jab and the guy fell down. So
But anyway, as we're looking around the neighborhood for Carl and talk to my neighbors on this side and ask them, like, did you happen to see a little dog run by here? And they're like, no, but like that cat, that grand white, that big cat, is that yours? And I was like, yeah, that's mine. And they're like, what's his name? And I was like, that's Mick. And they're like, we've been calling him Norman. He comes over here all the time and just hangs out. It's very friendly, just hangs out, comes right up to us. We have 2 dogs and he doesn't give a damn. Like he just walks right up and does not care about the dogs. So, yeah, all right. I get it.
Norman, have you considered that? It's a good name.
You know what? And I was like, I was feeling like after they said that, like they would offer an explanation that would explain what it was that they thought was Norman-like about him. But no, it was just this story about them not being afraid of their dogs or anything. So, yeah.
Although Mick and Carl sound like they could also host a podcast together.
Mhm.
Cats and
Yeah.
dogs with Mick and Carl.
Yep. I do. And So far, Mick's attitude toward Carl is mostly indifference, but occasionally when Carl gets too curious about him, he'll lift up his paw like, do I have to do it?
Uh-oh. The ghost just pulled up.
Is it the Uber XL, the Uber Black?
Yep. Hey, Carl. I don't think he's going anywhere, buddy.
Well, it goes pulled away. I don't know what.
Maybe he had second thoughts. Does he know that this is your house?
He's been here before.
Oh, sure, he's been here before.
And if you didn't know, it's your minivan right outside.
Yeah. They're playing commercials for Evander Holyfield versus Vitor Belfort during this fight.
So the way I see this fight is by buying the thing.
Right, but they don't want you to go anywhere.
But they already got my money. I mean, maybe the best thing for them would be if I went somewhere.
I guess that's true. We're already into the third round here. I think I completely missed the second round. I looked away. The second round happened.
So did the guy with the AirPods. He's listened to a great part of the podcast. He's like, man, I think I'm going to find out who the murderer
I think
is.
they're going to solve the mystery.
Nope, turns out no.
No, they don't solve the mystery on any of those shows. If they did solve the mystery, you would hear about it. You see, it'd be a bigger deal.
Oh.
Hmm.
I feel like maybe the strategy of going right at David Hay is
Mhm. David
being
Hay does not
rethought
really look
as
like
we
he's
speak.
sweating it.
Rouge Islam notes that maybe Sir Nigel realized there's a camera recording the entrance.
He realized it was a setup.
Okay, I need to know, Brendan Curse Diamonds, if you are actually listening to the Trump broadcast, because he seems to be offering us a quote from Trump saying, David has the talent, he's got the moves and the talent, and you can't do anything about talent, but we'll see. Now, see, that could be somebody making fun of the Trump way of speaking, or it could be that Brendan is keeping his eye on it. I need to know which one it is, Brendan.
It seems like a real quote to me.
Okay, direct quote. Brendan is taking one for the team and watching the Trump broadcast.
So Trump is really going to be here all night, huh? From David Hay all the way until Evander Holyfield versus Vitor Belfort.
It seems improbable, especially because, like, without a live crowd cheering him on, you would think that he'd hit his bedtime. And
Also, 50 Cent is in the broadcast booth here.
Brendan says he's in between rounds.
Oh, really? They're just bringing Trump in between rounds, like he's what's the guy from HBO boxing?
Larry Merchant.
Larry Merchant. Yeah.
Okay, Jim.
Yeah.
Volume punching in that round. 10-9. Holyfield. How you like that, Larry Merchant?
It's good. It was a good Larry Merchant impression.
There they go.
Quiet as a couple of church mice.
For now. For now. It's 5:30 p.m. Rouge notes these 2-minute rounds fly by. I love it. Let's get this crap over with. Tracy Dickinson also notes we owe you a debt of gratitude, Brendan. We really do, because we weren't about to do that. Scott Guillory says Trump's got to be here all night. They are holding the G5 hostage till the end. Now I want to know, is the deal You got to fly him in on the G5. Do you got to fly him back out?
I mean, it's the fight game, man. You might find out. You might arrive back at the airport.
You might get to the airport just in time to find out Triller is bankrupt and there is no flight home.
Here's your coach ticket on JetBlue back to Mar-a-Lago.
I'm gonna have to hitchhike home. Now, does this mean that the Secret Service has to be? I mean, like the Secret Service protects like ex-presidents and stuff, right? Like we can't,
unless you tell them you don't want them to.
Can you do that? Can you just be like, you know what? I feel like I'm fine. I'm probably fine. Nobody wants to hurt me.
I think you can.
It'd be hilarious if Trump was the guy to be like, everybody loves me. Why would anybody want to hurt me? I feel like it's totally fine. I mean, I saw the movie Guarding Tess. It did not seem like you could just tell the Secret Service to leave you alone.
I think you can. I think you can opt out.
That was one that we missed in our Nicolas Cage movie month, where Nicolas Cage really goes every man, you know?
I'm not saying hurt him. I'm not saying knock him out, but make him feel something.
Well, look at the copy box numbers. David Hayes, 27 punches landed. And I'm sure that Joe Fournier's felt all of them, but also Fournier's landed 10 punches upon David Hayes.
I'll tell you what, though, if he come with
So
him here and there, he said,
it doesn't seem like we have a crowd here.
They were keeping the house lights real low
Okay.
in the introduction. I mean, you can see that there are some people out there, but I don't think that there are that many. Hopefully Triller was not counting on a big house, big gate.
Tracy Brand says, if you guys send me your P.O. box address, I will mail you some green apple gummy bears from Mendocino Gardens.
Okay, we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched the Hulu documentary called Sasquatch, which is about this investigative journalist, at least in theory, starts to investigate a story that he heard while he was working on a pot farm in Northern California in the 90s.
You have my attention.
About how Bigfoot killed a few guys who were working on a pot farm. And he gets involved in this sort of like crime investigation. And it's like, it's not great, though. Some of it feels somewhat empty. And by the time you get to the end of it, you're sort of like, what did we learn here?
Mm-hmm.
But what the documentary does pretty well, I would say, is paint a picture of exactly how weird the Golden Triangle area of California, like Humboldt County, whatever those are, Trinity County or something. There's 3 counties that are known for their marijuana production. And it really seems like it's a fucked up place.
And so naturally, Bigfoot would think,
There's also Bigfoot country.
Jay, he'd be like, you know what? I could roll up in here and kill a couple guys.
Yeah, kill 3 Mexican nationals.
Never even. Well, see, that's the thing. In this drug growing and distributing region, some dudes turn up dead, and the first thing everybody thinks is must have been Bigfoot. Only person could have done this.
Sean Wheelock is our Larry Merchant tonight.
You know what? He's not bad in that role.
What we're really seeing is that upper level with defense. Other than the jabs to the body, shirts on Sean, think about this. Joe Fournier is landing nothing on David Hay. David Hay is slipping, he's pulling back, he's elusive. When Fournier is targeting his head, he's landing on the arms, the forearms, the elbows, and the shoulders. Those are not scoring blows by the judges.
Agree 100%, Sean Willock. And the thing that I have to say is it's both guys. Fournier is not really fast enough to catch David Hay. And then guess what? David Hay's got some quick reflexes still there. He's able to see everything that Joe's bringing to him. He's able to make Joe miss.
When I say this, though, Sean, the fact that Fournier's only 9-10-0, and he's not only 9-0, he's taken out of over.
Augusta Leon says that's the first person from Eureka I've heard of besides the Faith No More guys. Is Faith No More from Eureka? I had no idea. Also, Augusta Leon notes it's the Emerald Triangle.
Oh,
Because green.
okay. I guess that makes sense.
Does make sense. Okay, looks like 50 Cent is about to pop a bottle of his
Oh, he
champagne. I feel like you might be about to fuck up and ruin the whole gimmick if you ask 50 Cent to explain
Yeah.
the difference between his various champagnes. He'd look at you like, God damn it, I just sell this shit. Don't do this to me.
Everybody's gonna get such a bad headache.
Yep. You can't be drinking champagne this early in the evening. You either need to drink it in the morning or you need to drink it in the morning of the next day.
Yeah.
Now, having barely paid attention, how do you have this, Chad?
It seems like David Hay is pretty much pitching a shutout here. Doesn't seem like he's sweating like the other guy has. Fournier. Is his name Dave also? Is it just a couple of Daves fighting? Dave versus Dave fight?
Man, I hate to see two Daves fight.
Yeah, I hope they can both be Daves after this.
So it really does seem like Sir Nigel pulled up, drove away.
I mean, a car that, judging by what I can see through the slats of the Venetian blinds,
It did look like his
looked like
car.
his car pulled up, and then maybe there was a family emergency. Maybe he realized he needed to get some more vape juice before he came over. What time we got here? 5:40. Almost time to get my computer out.
Well, I just got a dispatch from Sir Nigel updating me on Iowa Hawkeye football. So that explains.
Could it be that it was just a different white
In this town,
hybrid?
In this town, it could absolutely be. Okay, a Trump update, paraphrasing, says Brendan. Trump says the rich guy and the poor guy in the ring, who do you think is going to win? Other guy says, we ought to get you in the ring. Trump, under his breath, yes, I want to actually. Trump now in an inset box in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Tracy Dickinson suggests that the guy pulling up, maybe it was just the guy who thought his sister was at your place. I'm gonna tell you, Tracy, that guy does not own a car. And if you see that guy driving around in the car, look and see if one is missing. Because that's the vibe I was getting. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm get some beers right here. I don't even need to get up. Let's see, what do we
Get
got?
some of that variety pack.
Tiki Smash.
There you go.
I got no idea what that even, tropical hops with coconut.
There's Vitor. He's not looking quite as ripped as the heyday. He's got the DraftKings
Well,
hat.
maybe he learned that he fucked it up for everybody by looking too ripped.
Mhm.
Okay, there's the coconut. Arouge wants to know, Chad, are you expecting a letdown game from the Grizzlies tonight?
It's a good question, Aruz. It's possible. I would say it would kind of be the Montana Grizzlies' MO to go get a big win on the road at Washington in the game you were absolutely not supposed to win, and then come back for the home opener against a relatively tough FCS team like Western Illinois and kind of have a letdown. It's going to be a good sign for me if the Grizz can go out there and hang one on the Leathernecks tonight. I think that would be a real positive sign for how the rest of the season is going to go. But I honestly can't forecast it. I saw on ESPN before I came over here that the Grizz are 20-point favorites.
Yeah,
and I was like, that seems optimistic to me.
Especially how it seems that at least early on, the indication is that they're going to be a team that relies a lot on defense.
Well, against Washington, it's kind of hard to know how their offense will be against an FCS team. But I watched some of Western Illinois' game against Ball State, because it was on ESPN Plus, so you can watch it whenever you want. They look like a pretty good team.
And that's what you decided to do with your
I think
life?
they're a
was
pretty
just
good
to
team.
watch the Scout Grizz opponents on ESPN.
How else would I know?
Yeah. And then where would you be?
8 2-minute rounds, and yet somehow it still feels like we've been out there for a while.
Mhm.
Right now, a lot of fans feel Spence with the trainer Joe Fournier saying, "Give us something." Well, he's said that kind of gets the former cruiserweight heavyweight champion of the world.
Guess what? The worst thing you can do with a guy with almost no experience is to get into a fight. That's when you put a guy without experience in the fight.
Spoken from the champion himself, Sean Porter. You know what? I tell you what, I feel a little bit of that champagne. This is the best damn champagne I've ever had in my life. Oh my goodness.
Best damn champagne he's ever had in his life, that guy says.
What's the second best?
Your wedding night probably had some champagne.
See,
Yeah, look, there's nobody there. Look at all those seats back there.
it's early-ish.
True.
7:45 in Florida.
This is when you're like a child and you're like 4 or 5 years old and your parents are reckless. They just throw you into the deep end.
I couldn't help but notice that Triller tonight seems to be sponsored by a company called Skinhead.
Well,
That
that's unfortunate.
could have workshopped that a little bit, I think.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, Vitor, exactly. You know, Vitor is, you know, is he ready to go the full 8 months? Now they embrace it. That's
Here we go.
exciting sport.
Hugging it out.
Is Vitor really the guy we need to be asking if he's ready to go the full 8 rounds?
Okay. Sean Porter's going for the haymaker for David Hay. We'll see if it happens.
So I saw the paint. It looks like he's trying to set something up. So, hey, let's go.
The thing I was going to say with the champagne is I had a friend who was actually like trained as a sommelier,
Okay.
and she had a champagne. She was like, "This is my favorite champagne," and it's like a $50 bottle of
I think you
champagne.
told the story last time.
Really? Okay. Was the takeaway that I can't tell the difference?
Yeah. I mean, who could though, really?
Well, it seems like people can,
I guess.
and yet, like,
Isn't Tracy Brand a sommelier?
I mean, I believe, employed her expertise when it came to the difference between mezcal
That's
and
what I think
tequila.
as well. She's in
Also,
attendance.
That
tonight.
reminds me though, Jorge Masvidal is supposed to be on this Trump thing, right? What's up with that, Brendan? Is Jorge on there on the call? What's the dynamic there? Are they finding out that maybe they don't like each other that much when they have to spend a prolonged period of time together?
I doubt it. I doubt it very much. I got the Hopical Crush here.
Okay, what is
Got a shark on it.
dry, double dry hopped? What the fuck does that mean? With
It's double dry hopped. 6.2. What's that say?
With
tropical
tropical-
notes.
what's that say? Jesus Christ. Brendan knows he hasn't had them on the whole time because I only hate myself a little, but I haven't seen Masvidal yet. Augusta Leon knows dry hopping is a method of hopping beer.
I mean,
Okay,
we could have figured
Thanks.
that part
I
out
just-
ourselves.
yeah.
Given that
Now
that's
I
what it
feel like
says
I
on this
understand
can
it.
of beer that I'm about to drink.
Oh, and they did it twice? Cool.
Oh, they're still pals. Look at this.
Augusta Leon fairly noting, you asked, man. I did. I did.
I think so. I think at the party he may, you know, have to wear it.
Oh, at the party, man, what's the party like after this one? First of all, is it at Mar-a-Lago?
No,
It's at the Seminole Hard
it's at
Rock.
the
isn't it?
Seminole.
I spent a really weird night. I don't know if it was I think it was like the one in Hollywood, Florida. The IFL had an event there,
Mhm.
and then the after party, you know, there was no like official after party or anything. It just ended up like a bunch of people drinking at the same like outdoor bar at the casino, and a bunch of the fighters were there, and a bunch of the IFL staff were there, and we closed it down. And I just remember having drinks with Brian Battelle and Ben Rothwell, who had both fought each other before, but liked each other as people and stuff afterwards. And then seeing like Ben Rothwell show up and try to like be like, all right, I should order a drink to blend in, but I don't do this, so I don't know like what. And in ordering something, just being like, order like a screwdriver or something at like 12 o'clock at night, and so there's a giant guy standing there awkwardly, like holding a screwdriver in a glass. And just be like, okay.
For the fact that Joe Cormier took on the former cruiserweight and heavyweight champion, he went the distance, even though
It's a sharp beard game from Joe Cormier.
8-minute rounds. We're not 8-minute rounds. It was 2-minute rounds. 8-minute rounds. There we go. I correct myself, but that just goes to show that Joe Cormier did not just come.
Scott Guillory notes, what a fight! Hashtag Triller. Wait, wrong broadcast. Yeah, no. You want to put that on Twitter, see if you can get on there. I mean, okay, Tracy Brand raised her hand. She worked for a sparkling wine house because of course she did. How do we hear from Tracy?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we can do that since I don't know if we have Ryan working the back end of this thing. He seemed like he might not be super into watching this.
Just fair. Oh no, he notes that he can. Okay. How about it? How about unmute Tracy so that we could hear from her about champagne. Hey Tracy.
Hey guys. So I worked for
Get your volume turned
Roterer
up.
and Andrew. Oh, what? Sorry, go ahead. What'd you
Feels like
say?
my volume's on. Tracy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Let me
Can't
see.
hear.
Oh,
They hear her. Everybody else hears
Everybody
her.
else hears her but us.
Okay, wait, I see the problem. How about now?
is this working?
Yes, it's working. Hello, Tracy.
Hello. So I worked I still work occasionally in Anderson Valley. So Anderson Valley is a big Pinot Noir region. And in the 80s, Roterer, who does Les Hermitage, but more importantly, in Champagne, France, they're the people who make Cristal. And I worked for them for 2 years. And oh my God, I miss it.
What do you miss?
Pouring champagne for people every day and getting paid like anywhere between $200 to $500 a day to do it.
That doesn't
Okay.
sound too bad.
That does sound pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm familiar with Cristal because of rap music, and yet
Exactly.
if I were to have Cristal versus whatever they have in the grocery store at 9 o'clock on New Year's Eve, would I, a Philistine, know the difference?
Yes and no. So here's the way I look at Cristal. And I had a bottle. I don't work there anymore. I miss it, like I said, but I had a bottle about 2 months ago. And I wanted to make a point to my friends. We opened one up. And then I went and got a bottle of champagne from that was okay. So Cristal is $275 a bottle. There's one of my favorite champagne houses in France is one called Villamart and C. VILMART, ampersand C, the letter C, like Carl. And we did it side by side, and there was no question about it that the Cristal was better, but it was only a tiny bit better. And $75 versus $275, all of us except for the millennial said that they would rather have, 3 or 4 bottles of the $75.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess every time that I've been in a situation to drink champagne, it's like, okay, we're celebrating something or we're doing mimosas. I can't imagine, do people sit around and be like, let's just drink champagne? Like, that's just what we're doing tonight.
Well, I'm kind of an asshole, so I do that all the time.
Okay. Are you a rapper? Is this when we were find out that you're actually a rapper?
No, but Tribe Called Quest is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Okay. Are you signed to Rockefeller Records at this time?
Considering I don't know what that is because I am 49, no.
Well, the thing that I wonder about, like when it comes to like, okay, 50 Cent's going to come out with a champagne. Is it like a Conor McGregor thing where he's just like buying an existing champagne and just going to put his name on it and hope that that's enough? And if so, does that work?
Absolutely, and yes. So I've worked for a lot of people, but kind of all at the same time. It's been a fun, super fun journey for me in wine. And so let's say that you're a wine house and you want to do sparkling wine. You'll go to a big company who all they do is manufacture sparkling wine. And the biggest one in the country that I know of is called Rack and Riddle. And then you go and you try sample things that they have, and then you just put your freaking name on it. So he can absolutely do that. I guess it's coming from Champagne, France, if they're calling it champagne, and 100% he can do that. But it's one that he'll tailor to make it what he wants. Probably exactly what Conor McGregor did.
What are you painting tonight, Tracy? Are you painting your house or are you involved in some kind of art pursuit?
Yes. Oh, no, I'm not an artist. I appreciate it tremendously. I'm a little more logical brain minded, and I love art to appreciate it and have a sincere love for the fact that other people can do it, because it's not my wheelhouse.
So you're just painting the house?
Heck yeah, I can remodel a house like a Mo sucker. Like Ben would have loved it if I had come over and helped paint.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. He could still use some color in here. It's pretty white in here at the moment. But
so sorry, I just want to wrap before you guys hang up on me. I do want to wrap up the campaign discussion and say, I absolutely think that if you have a special occasion that you want to commemorate, go to Costco, get either a bottle of Cristal or a Dom Perignon, and 100% it is worth it because it makes that occasion even more memorable. But to just drink great champagne, you can spend anywhere between, $55 and $75 and get an absolutely beautiful bottle when you're not trying to be like, oh, on that night we had Cristal.
Yeah. I'm going to keep that in mind. Maybe I'll do it for the next special occasion. You never know.
Well, all I'm saying is if you do have a 10-year party, which Davin and I will absolutely go to, there will be copious bottles of wine, champagne, and spirits that we bring because we have an absurd collection. It's stupid. It was accidental.
Well, that would be incredibly nice. I guess now we have to not drop the ball on this 10th anniversary party that we have talked about, even though it would be probably the most CME thing in the world if we said we were going to do it and then didn't. We do want to try to make it happen. And now that you've promised us booze, yes, now we have to do it.
We did get our koozie, which we proudly display.
There you go. There you go.
So, thanks so much, guys. Thanks for having this tonight.
You bet, Tracy. Thanks for schooling us again in the ways of alcohol. We appreciate it.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. Bye. All right, gang. Well, we're involved in another here. I got to get this, unmute the television here. We're involved in another live performance. Again, I don't know who this is. Does anybody know who this is? See, you get a puppy and then you just spend all your time taking the puppy in and out of the house. That's what's going on here. Ben's missing all of the fabulous musical performances on the Trillers broadcast. Josh, no one is dead yet, but we've only seen one fight. Oh man, Augusto Leon's wife is a sommelier. We got another musical performance here.
Who's this?
I have no idea. It was muted. Although we recently discovered that Augusto Leon is joining us from Chile,
Oh, okay.
and his wife is a sommelier.
You know, it's this educated, sophisticated audience that you get with a CME watch party.
That's right. To watch the Trillers. Everybody should tell us where they're watching from.
Okay, yeah.
So then we'll know what kind of international scene we've got going here.
I feel like at least the star power, because we all knows that you're basically asking for age, sex, location, like it's an AOL chat room in 1997. It seems like the star power on the musical performances has gone way down from the Jake Paul Ben Askren one.
Well, I mean, come on.
They opened with the Black Keys in that one.
We're dealing with a slightly different.
And then they had a rap performance from like Ice Cube, Too Short, E40, and Snoop Dogg. Oh, here we go. Whoa. I can't even keep up with all that.
Kansas City, South Carolina, St. Louis, Massachusetts, Calgary, Alberta,
Brooklyn, Fort Worth, West Roxbury, Columbus, Ohio, Louisiana, Vancouver, Washington. Hell yeah.
That's right. The
Hell,
Couve.
hell yeah.
What's up, Couve?
St. Louis, Amsterdam. Amsterdam in the house.
The actual Amsterdam?
I mean, maybe it's one of the fake Amsterdams.
Amsterdam,
Are there
Pennsylvania?
any?
I don't know.
Amsterdam, Iowa, Virginia, Atlanta, Colorado in the one true time zone. Nice. The Philippines, listen to Fight Party half awake at 8 a.m. Well, that's hardcore. That's hardcore, and maybe also a cry for help.
Which one of these is your Wi-Fi network? Is it Bill Nye, the Wi-Fi guy?
It's not named anything, but that is not bad. 29 one.
Net year 29?
Yeah. You're only asking so that you can watch the grids.
Yeah, I
realize
hope this
that.
doesn't screw up our streaming. The thing about the Triller musical performance is that I don't get the impression that they're like, just do one song.
No, everybody does 2 to 3 songs. And look, here's the thing. The stage performance is mostly girls shaking their asses, and then the video on the background is different girls shaking their asses.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
I mean, we get it. Atlanta, Stuttgart, Germany. Be Gates. You know what I'm saying? Be Gates out this bitch.
Good one.
Yeah.
Sehr gut.
Yeah.
Sehr gut.
Nick Schlecht. Vancouver, British Columbia, Denmark, Melbourne, or as I learned it's called when I went there, Melbourne.
Yeah, no, you told us.
Philadelphia. Josh Carey notes, Ben, I'm furiously looking at puppies. This is a mistake. The dogs need a pal, right? I mean, it's quite a journey. Well, there he goes. He's gonna knock over this stripe. If at some point the video just like crashes over, know that it was Carl's doing. All right, what are we looking at? How the Grizzlies looking over here?
Well, it hasn't started yet. You got Bobby and whoever the coach of Western Illinois is there having a conversation at midfield. So
Just a friendly chat. Nope. No.
don't chew on that, Carl. We need that. That's important.
We need all these wires.
Now, see, how old do you think Mario Lopez is?
I mean, he's got to be older than us, right? Because he was like a teenager, or at least playing a teenager, possibly even older than that.
He was probably in his 20s, right? When we were teens.
Well, I mean, when we were younger than teens, watching him like Saved by the Bell.
Oh, Fat Joe.
Everybody knew you King Kong. Everybody knew you got all the hits. I'm gonna have to drag you.
What are we
I'm
doing?
gonna bring you to the projects, Trinity Ave. Well, y'all must have forgot, because I ain't forget. Street snow.
He can't give a straight face.
It's gonna be crazy. You my brother. I love you. But I'm gonna have to get you about that car getting sweaty, that grease lightning.
What?
You know
What?
I'm saying? And so,
I have no idea what's happening here, aside from Norman walking on my laptop.
you forgot. I didn't forget. I'll see you there.
Oh, Ja Rule and Fat Joe.
Drag into these streets, huh? I like that. It's cool. Comfortable there. I'm gonna drag you on that stage. See,
Ja Rule is doing the pro wrestling heel chuckle between each of his lines.
Kind of a rueful? Would you describe that?
A
that
rueful laugh, yes.
a mirthless chuckle.
That's right.
Do not miss it. That is this Tuesday,
So they're gonna fight?
September 14th,
Or is it versus?
Is it like a rap battle?
It must be a rap battle. Now,
Because weight class wise,
no, you're not in the same weight class.
also, if you're Triller and you're trying to convince people that you are not just like a scam or whatever, is getting Ja Rule the best way to do that? After, you know,
Well, there was some talk.
everything that happened with the Firefest stuff.
Mario Lopez is 47,
Well,
so not quite as old as I thought he might be.
hey,
There was some talk online that Trillers has something to do with some app that is trying to compete with TikTok.
yeah, I mean, that's like the whole thing, right?
That's what Trillers is.
I think so. When it's not this, I think that's what it is.
So is Trillers trying to compete with the versus thing where they get the rap guys to like do the battle style performance against each other? Is that what Ja Rule and Fat Joe are gonna do?
I mean, at this point, I hope Trillers is a money laundering operation. That would be the best case scenario.
Yeah,
Because otherwise, it's just a money burning operation.
yeah.
Especially if we're giving a whole bunch of money to Trump and flying him an hour away on a G5.
I am very hopeful that our financial offer to Donald Trump depended in large part on how many people signed up to watch his alternate commentary.
You think
stream.
he's only getting a cut of the gate?
Where's Trillers getting all this money? China? Is it owned by China? Because Trump won't be happy if he finds out about that.
Oh yeah, no, his principled stand. Hey, no, come on, man. No.
Man, look at that picture of Tito.
Ferocious. So was there any penalty? Tito missed weight,
Yeah,
but it seemed like everybody was just kind of like, whatever.
I mean, did you expect there to be a penalty for missing weight at your Trillers fight?
I mean, if it's regulated as a professional bout,
I don't think it's
I know
that kind of
Florida
show.
doesn't do shit, but still.
I don't think it's that kind of show.
So you're saying that the weigh-in, it's like the weight class is kind of like a guideline. Like
It's a suggestion.
we would love it.
I mean, Tito told us fully 24 hours in advance that he probably wasn't going to make weight.
We think it would be great if you could show up at this weight
Yeah.
class.
Very close to whatever this weight is going to be. Well, David Hay was 211 and Fournier was.
How is this Grizz player going to be number 0?
You can be number 0.
I don't feel like I've
Especially if
ever seen a
you're
college
Omar
football player
Hicks-Onu.
as number 0.
He saw one now.
I mean, it's kind of a dope move. But also, I feel like if you choose number 0, you have to be the heel on the team, right? You can't be like out here being the good guy at number 0. Beer garden this season.
Mhm. Yeah, alcohol sales inside the stadium, which I don't, people might not know this, but there's a robust drinking culture here in the state of Montana. And I wouldn't say that people at the college football stadium in the past were sober to any extent
No.
of the imagination. So
No,
the fact
you
that they will
didn't-
now be selling alcohol inside this, I mean, it might not change too much because people are always just sneaking their booze in anyway, right?
Yeah.
But like,
It's
people are going to be
true
getting drunk.
that you did not go to a Grizz game and come away with the feeling that everybody was going like, well, now that's over. I can go crack a beer somewhere.
Yeah.
Like,
As soon as this is over.
Pico Graham, I see what you did there, said Tito said in an interview he would lose a percentage if he was over. Haven't seen that anywhere since. Also, Rouge Islam claims college football has by far the drunkest fans. Agree or disagree?
I mean, I've been to a lot of drunk environments, a lot of drunk sporting environments. And college football definitely, I mean, like soccer, people get drunk at soccer, right?
Yeah, but they, at least from what I've seen a couple different European soccer matches in Germany and in the UK, they take steps to mitigate that because they're aware of that problem.
Yeah.
And yet, I don't know, I mean, I've been to a ton of MMA events and I've seen a lot of
People also get
motherfuckers,
drunk at those.
especially because they're like 7 to 8 hours long. And if it's in Las Vegas, people are going to roll in with a drink in their hand. And then the only thing really stopping them from getting completely blackout drunk is price. Like they're not driving after that. Like it's not like a thing like where beer sales stop after the third quarter.
Could be the pizza I ordered. Hold on.
Did you get the fuck out of here? He really did order a pizza. You believe that shit? Carl, this motherfucker ordered a pizza.
And my pizza showed up.
I didn't know he was ordering a pizza. Did you guys know he's ordering a pizza? Did he tell you this?
What's a pizza?
He didn't say anything to me about a pizza. I heard snacks. There's a lot of snacks. And a mystery pizza. Guy just orders a pizza to your house, doesn't say anything about it. That's cool. It's a weird box too. I don't even recognize where that came from. This whole thing is suspicious. I'm just going to say it.
It's their destiny to capture a world championship. This is one of those fights where right here, one guy's gonna go like this.
Carlos Danger asks, what do I mean? As someone who's seen soccer all over Europe. Okay, I'll tell you what I mean. I went to a soccer match in Germany and I was excited to get drunk and be a soccer hooligan. And then I showed up and I have just enough German to read the signs at the concession stand that said, due to the nature of today's game, basically we will be selling only non-alcoholic beer. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was a relegation game for Hertha Berlin. And I was pissed off. And see, that's just not the kind of you're not going to show up to like a Kansas City Chiefs game and be like, well, it's because it's a playoff game.
Due to the nature of today's today. The only thing that would happen in America is it'd be like, due to the nature of today's game, everyone is going to be super wasted.
This is just moment.
I'm glad to see that my children are not the only children where you can serve them dinner and they will just not eat one single bite of their hamburger.
You just never know. You never know what's going to happen. Where did you order this pizza from?
Biga?
This is Biga pizza?
Yeah. No, is this the stripper that I ordered?
See, now I don't even know. Oh, we got a mystery guest. Mystery guest.
It's Sir Nigel.
Hey, everybody, it's Sir Nigel.
Congratulations.
Mystery guest. And he's here.
The Hawkeyes emerge victorious.
Hey, good for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Who did they play?
Iowa State.
Oh, big
Oh,
game.
in-state
The
rivalry.
nation.
Oh, they
Hawks
upset
ranked
them.
10th.
Now, did you just pull up in your car a while ago and then drive away and come back?
No, I've left the car for Sir Nigel's nurse.
Okay, so it really was just a different white Prius that we saw pull up.
I guess that's true.
Hello.
What's up, Willa? You want to come be on this live stream?
You want to come be on camera?
I'm gonna take that as a no.
Come say hi. Come here.
Wait a second. What happened to Michael Buffer?
He didn't pay Michael Buffer enough to do all 4 fights.
Is he
You kidding?
spent now until the main event?
He's got to go back
He's
to
in
the,
the back
oxygen
taking
tent
oxygen.
and get some more infant blood.
5 of those victories coming by way of KO. The former injured.
And see, something like this makes you wonder if you're boxing at a Triller event, is it more embarrassing to do the David Hay thing where you're going out there being like, I'm going to spar for you guys with one of my buddies, or to be coming out here and taking it super seriously? Like just soaking up the moment.
My only question is, did this guy watch Joe Fournier earlier have trouble getting in the ring with his sombrero? And will he have learned from the past?
Let's see. Let's see. Nope. Same problem.
Oh,
Same problem.
The trick is to rotate your head 90 degrees straight backwards.
Now look, if you're gonna wear the sombrero, you got to go over the top rope one way or another. It's not gonna fit between them. That's Carl. This is Carl.
Carl, that's very good.
there's pizza in there if you want some.
Ooh.
It's from Biga.
Ooh.
You know, on Biga, you can just get on the internet and choose what time you want it to show up.
I did that the other night at about 6 p.m. and the earliest option was 8:30.
Oh,
Very good, Carl. I like it.
Carl, hey, take it easy, man.
Allowed.
both Western Illinois and the Grizz have punted on their first possessions.
Okay. Playing a field position game.
During the third quarter, Iowa put up -6 yards and outscored Iowa State 10 points to 0.
Yeah.
That is the essence of Iowa football. Offense is unnecessary.
Josh Carey notes someone should buy that poncho when this is over to go with the CME bolo tie, which I think it would complement it quite well.
By the way, the CME bolo tie almost finished.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And then it's going to be on its way. I have it on good authority. Number one, it's going to glow in the dark.
What?
Number two, the tips of the bolo tie are going to be little cobras.
Get the fuck out. So it's basically the most awesome item of menswear or just formal wear. It's not limited to men.
That's a
Wedding
fact.
wear, I would think.
Yeah.
Finally, a bolo tie nice enough to get married in.
Stephen Summer also suggests that Carl, for one, I go easy on Carl because he's had a big week. He has. And that he's part shepherd because of the streak across his chest. That's the shep. I mean, it's a good chance that he's part many things. And who knows how big he's going to get, what he's going to be like, but he's very sweet dog at this point.
I have no idea who these two guys in the ring right now are, and that leads me to believe that they might actually be good
Well,
boxers.
because they're fighting 10 3-minute rounds, that also suggests that they're actually good boxers.
One of them, maybe his nickname is King Kong. Says King Kong on his trunks.
See, but I feel like if you're going to be King Kong, you got to be a heavyweight.
Maybe he's Lil King Kong.
Diddy Kong.
Lil King Kong is a chimpanzee. Do you realize that? Lil King Kong is just a monkey.
Okay, yeah, say it to his face, bitch. Say it to his face.
The main identifying feature about King Kong is his size.
Chimpanzees still do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to fight one. I'll be honest with you.
Last night, I watched Every Which Way But Loose because Sir Nigel's nurse claimed it wasn't a real movie he was making.
Wait, so did you just describe what was basically going on in Every Which Way But Loose? And then she was like, there's no way.
Indeed.
And you watched the entire thing?
I did. Yes.
Don't eat that licorice, Carl. It'll make you sick, buddy.
Am I to understand that Carl is a miscellaneous dog?
He is.
The finest.
He was born in a shelter in Polson,
Ooh.
and he and his brothers were all just hanging out there, crawling all over each other. I selected the best of them to bring home.
How old is he?
It's about 3 months old.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad then. I thought perhaps he was 8 weeks old and would grow to be Marmaduke.
And these things, they only live a few weeks?
Oh, no.
Just the last one was twice as old as my oldest child.
Okay.
So,
Big commitment. It's
Yeah.
a big commitment.
I mean, frankly, it's ambitious on my part to think I'm going to live long enough to see this dog's entire lifespan. See, and this is the thing you can't do in MMA, even if we didn't have, the Reebok and then Venom era, is the shorts that are just like basically a disco ball.
Yeah.
Like you can't really do that in a thing where you might have to put those shorts up in somebody's face. And yet boxing allows you to really have some fun there.
Yeah, both these guys appear to have the sequin trunks.
Come here. Over here.
Is he allowed on the couch?
When there's like a blanket or something, it's let a couch, but you can come up here.
Whoa. Carl let out a little yelp there.
Carl's a little yelp happy.
Oh, perhaps if you supported his haunches.
You know what? Perhaps if I supported your mother's haunches.
Whoa.
You'll have to find her first.
I know where to find her. I read the message on the bathroom wall. How we doing over there?
Doing all right. My dad just texted me to say, man, this announcer is annoying. But of course, he means the announcer on the Grizz game.
It does not mean 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Stefan Summer asks, question for Ben and Chad. What was the first big boxing event you remember watching and who showed it to you?
I mean, it certainly would have been a Mike Tyson fight. I just don't know if I remember which one it was.
Okay, see, I remember being a kid and like my dad would never order the Mike Tyson fights because he would be like, it's going to be over in 30 to 90 seconds and it's not worth the pay-per-view price, but always like you'd always hear about it. It was such a cultural phenomenon. And I remember doing like school projects where you'd have to like do something, like write a report on something you see in the newspaper. And I remember doing a bunch of Tyson stuff, which at one point included him getting into that street fight outside the all-night tuxedo rental place in Harlem and injuring his hand and putting like a heavyweight title fight in jeopardy. Oh, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall, buddy.
Oh, there he goes. Here comes the yelp.
But I do remember, I mean, I mentioned that seeing that Holyfield Michael Moorer fight on pay-per-view at a friend of my dad's house, but I think the first big boxing match I ever really watched was like a rainy Sunday watching like ESPN Classic or something, and the Rumble in the Jungle. They were showing the Rumble in the Jungle, and my dad was like, okay, you should see this. Like you should watch this, but didn't tell me what was going to happen, but told me enough about like who Muhammad Ali was and who George Foreman was and stuff like that as we're watching it. And you're just looking at it and being like, okay, like Ali is just getting thumped on. And then when the turn comes, like rather dramatically, they like, for me, like it was happening live, like as like a 10-year-old boy, being like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Like I really specifically remember that.
The first one I saw was Tyson Sphinx, which was just like the Rumble in the Jungle without the turn.
He's sniffing at these chords again.
Scott Guillory asks, does Ben realize that by picking his dog Carl over his brothers, that Carl maybe set down a path that ends up with him getting choked out by an estranged brother in $1 million MMA tournament while they whisper in his ear, I love you.
Yeah. And then Daniel Cormier will star in the spinoff television series. Don't drink that beer.
Update on the Trump situation. Brendan says Trump calls JDS the real deal, then Holyfield, then says there are 4 real deals here tonight. Okay.
Are we watching a broadcast that does not involve Donald Trump?
That is correct.
What?
We want to have fun, but we don't want to be stupid.
So there's a different broadcast we
Yes.
could be watching
Mhm.
that does involve Donald Trump.
Yep. And the delightful, like, final twist of irony is that one is on the SAP channel, normally reserved for Spanish language commentary.
They love him down there and over there.
Stephen Summer notes, I convinced my uncle to rent out the basement of a bar and let my friends and I watch a massive boxing pay-per-view, and I got half my high school grad class to come out, and that was when he bit Evander's ear. It was a wild night. Okay, I remember watching that one because I was in high school and I did like a summer football passing league tournament thing. It was a big deal, and we went straight from that to a friend's house where his parents were the kind of cool parents where they were going to get the Tyson fight and get a keg of beer. We were all going to have a great time. We had watched the first, we watched on VHS after it happened, the first Tyson Holyfield fight, super pumped for the rematch. And then that shit happened. And that was my first introduction, I think, to oh, sometimes it be like this in combat sports, that you get hyped up and then this is just a big colossal disappointment. And then you go home being like, well, fuck, I spent my money on that because we all pitched in on the pay-per-view and the keg.
So is this telecast narrated by Jimmy Carter then?
I'm gonna have one of these Cyclone IPAs. Check on what Carl is doing in there. Okay.
What a tail on Carl.
Yes.
It's quite long.
Yeah. No, Brendan notes that Trump is being billionaire Trump, not President Trump.
Wow.
Brendan,
What's the difference?
has he mentioned the stolen election? Has he mentioned how unfairly he was treated by the press and everyone? That's what I need to know.
Surely the organizers of this event have asked him to sign some sort of rider where he won't talk about certain things.
Okay, this one, the Mind Haze Citrus Cyclone, that's the one you had before?
No, I had the
Okay.
Topical Crush.
This one notes citrus hops and real tangerine.
Oh.
I don't, when you add the real in front of the tangerine.
Protest too much. Firestone Walker. It's like those Domino's commercials that went on for a while where it was like, order pizza from Domino's. Real people actually make the pizzas.
Whoever said that it was robots is a lying motherfucker.
Pigman is my understanding.
The crowd's filling out a little bit now.
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
It's amazing we haven't seen a takedown yet.
You know, I got some bad news about that.
Surely they won't. I mean, these guys are clearly amateurs. They're wearing basketball shorts.
Okay, Brendan notes, so about the Trump question, when I came back earlier, he was talking about an election that went on with no hiccups. I swear this is true, and I have no idea what election he was talking about.
Glad you said that right there. He's got to man up. When he manned up right there and sat down on his shot, he was able to land this shot right there.
Does 50 Cent have boxing experience? Wasn't he going to box George Zimmerman or something?
That was DMX who was going to
DMX.
box George Zimmerman and said that he was going to knock George Zimmerman out and then pull his dick out and piss on him. But then I think George Zimmerman pulled out of that.
X will do that to you. He gonna do that to you.
X is going to do that to you. Well, we're just using a plastic bag filled with ice for the ice pack.
That
huh?
can go wrong. We've seen it before.
Like but it's the kind that zips closed. Do you feel more confident that way? As opposed to the kind where you like press it closed and it changes colors to let you know that it's closed.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens, I guess.
Stefan Summer notes, American IPAs are actually amazing. I went on a cross-country road trip and kept stopping in at local breweries to try local flavors and then asked, is Charlie B's on Higgins still a thing? Man, gonna be a thing until society itself crumbles. And depending on when you go, Charlie himself might be there, you know, just roaming around. My favorite thing about that, like when you send like out of town visitors to Charlie B's, is telling them that, like, look, it doesn't matter what time of day you go, there will be somebody in there drunk, talking loud and being kind of a problem.
Also, there's no sign out front, so you just have to kind of find it.
Oh, that's right. There isn't. There's a C and a B on the door, though, right? There's a stained glass there.
I mean, I guess if you're looking closely, maybe
I'm thinking church.
But it's like, you could think, well, hey man, it's Monday at 10 a.m. You know, there's not going to be anything going on in there. And then it's like some guys who just got off a fire crew who were in there, you know, several vodka tonics deep, playing pool and yelling at each other about the best Rolling Stones album.
You're definitely going to be an old guy in like a fringed buckskin jacket, just kind of wandering around.
A friend of mine once told me, she was like, I went on a Tinder date with this guy and he suggested that we meet at Charlie B's, and I got annoyed. And I was like, why did you get annoyed? She was like, because if you're a woman, you walk through the front door of Charlie B's, it means you have to be fucked by 12 senior citizens on your way just to the bar. I was like, okay, I had not considered that.
It looks like 3 Western Illinois leathernecks have been injured on a single.
What happened? They're all hurt. There's no grizzlies anywhere around, and they just all fuck each other up accidentally.
The citrus cyclone, I think, definitely has the most forward flavor of this box. At least
that's the one I got here, that was the real tangerine.
Yeah, I decided to try it with you.
Okay. What? Though it's like, okay, there's these people here who, I mean, I assume is that the tangerine that their faces are replaced with, and they're like riding a
there's like a kraken, a kraken tentacles, and then there's UFOs.
Yeah, they gotta choose a lane here.
It's probably from the Emerald Triangle. You know what?
And then is this supposed to be South America? This like continent?
I have no idea. It looks
like
it's
just like a tornado. No, it's got to be the cyclone. That's it. That's a citrus cyclone.
But it's a C.
You know what? I feel like we're coming up with more questions than answers.
Oh, the citrus typhoon.
The other thing about like when you see these elaborate boxing shorts is you realize like there's got to be somebody that's their job, is making these custom shorts, because that is not off the rack.
Yeah. Grizz just scored a touchdown.
Okay.
About a 7-yard run from Isaiah Childs, freshman transfer from the University of Akron.
Oh.
So he ran there, as they say, would have been a touchdown in flag football. Nobody even got near him, and then just handed the ball to the referee like he'd been there before.
That's his first touchdown, I believe, as a Grizz. So he actually had not been there before. I think that's Isaiah Childs. I'm still getting to know who these guys are. Yeah, it is. Number 28, if you're keeping track at home.
Brendan says, Trump campaigning for a return to 15 rounds multiple times tonight.
Back when America was great and they fought 15 rounds.
He's basically doing the like Montgomery Burns thing of like, in my day, I saw Sailor Jim fight Eskimo Jim Wilcox. And if the bout went less than 100 rounds, we demanded our nickel back.
Where'd you get those French fries that are in there?
The grocery store.
Those are like some store-bought fries, because those are pretty good.
Fries that I
pretty good for fries that you just put in the oven.
That's what I did with them.
Go right up.
He has Spartan blood literally in his veins.
No, he does. Literally,
I haven't seen that dog in a minute. Oh, there he is.
Hey, he's right here.
I'm gonna check on these, my actual children.
I'm telling you guys, it's amazing how quiet Ben's children are.
It really is.
If we were doing this at my house, two boys would have wrestled through the front room and knocked over the computer and the mic and the tripod and probably the TV at least 3 times by now.
That's what helps them get taller.
One thing I have noticed about these boxing matches is that they go on for a while.
Indeed, it's an incredibly boring sport. I feel like once you've followed MMA for a while, watching boxing is like going from crack back to cigarettes.
I believe there's a question on here about Line and Kugel's Summer Shandy.
Yeah,
That's one of your favorites, if I'm not mistaken.
indeed. Mostly for the half of it that is Line Kugel's lager, which apparently you can't get anymore, or at least you can't get here. It used to be Linings was a kind of Midwestern
It's a Midwestern beer, yeah. It's kind of, I see it as the Summer Shandy is obviously it's a seasonal. You want to drink that during the summer, hence the name.
Yeah. But they have a number of other shandies now, including grapefruit. They had a cranberry shandy last Christmas.
I guess that is the fad these days.
It really is. I think Linings could find a national audience if it was given a chance.
So right now, these dudes are clean. They're looking for moments, like I said before. They're finding them. It's a little bit this is a good boxing.
Right to the body by Andy Benson. And Joe Pierre was sort of with his butts and come on.
I want to see people who are either way too old or not boxers, or both.
You don't want to see these young boxers still in their prime.
Most boring thing. If you're looking for entertainment, you want to watch someone cook, you don't choose a chef.
That's right. Wow, we're only halfway through this particular fight.
Oh my.
Oh, there's Tommy Hearns is in the house.
Beautiful tie on Tommy Hearns.
He is looking good with the tie. Looking like the set from The Price is Right. Wait, is 50 Cent bragging about how Thomas Hearns was at his house?
I think he's telling a personal story about Thomas Hearns.
He looks damn good in those suits. But if you want to see him in boxing trunks again, no.
Oh man, you got a lot of nerve to be on the Triller broadcast talking about guys you don't want to see in boxing trunks again.
But there are other legends. Oscar De La Hoya. We wish Oscar all the best of speed recovery and talk to one of the men of his management team. Said, by the end of the year, hopefully Oscar will be back in the ring.
So, Oscar De La Hoya, not a heavyweight.
No,
Not even close, right?
No.
Fought at what, 135?
I believe like a 140, 145.
And Holyfield, definitely a heavyweight.
Well, it started out his career really as like a light heavyweight, right? And was always a smaller-ish heavyweight, but still was heavyweight champion.
But again, 80 pounds heavier than Oscar De La Hoya, I would imagine.
But Vitor Belfort's trainer would have us believe that Oscar De La Hoya either faked COVID or made it seem worse than it was in order to avoid Vitor Belfort, who he realized was taking this seriously. So
They rented that hospital room, or maybe just a sound stage that looked like a hospital room.
he did a Royal Tenenbaum.
A Mission Impossible.
While you were out of the room, they showed Thomas Hearns
What?
the hitman in
Okay.
the audience.
How's he doing?
He looked okay. He's wearing a nice tie, gave the fist. And then one of these announcers said that we can all agree that we don't want to see Tommy Hearns in boxing trunks again, which I said, you got a lot of fucking nerve to be on the Triller podcast saying some shit like that.
Did he feel like he had to say that just preemptively, just to ensure,
Just to imply that there's a standard?
just to be like, okay, look, I know it's starting to seem like anything is possible, but there is a line.
To make it clear to the audience that he's not walking down to the ring.
Oh, Brendan says now on the Trump thing, there's some WWE talk going on, reminiscing about the battle of the billionaires versus Vince, then tried to say Umaga, LOL. Hamish the Denizen notes, maybe Hearns was there in case Tito missed weight, which he did.
He did miss
He
weight.
did miss weight.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, missed weight by like 5 pounds. Anderson Silva came in under.
That's something you can sort of count on Tito for. He at least does the work.
Well, but the weight class here was 195, which Tito made a big deal out of saying he lost respect for Anderson Silva for making him cut down to that.
This is a boxing match, boxing show, and these two guys are
It's a boxing match, a boxing
It's a
show.
boxing show.
Man, another.
Oh yeah, they're dropping like flies out there.
Man, you show up to play the Grizzlies, and maybe not everybody.
Oh
makes
look,
it
that guy
home.
was wearing number 02.
Okay, it must be a thing. It's a thing that's happening. This is what the kids are doing in college football.
Generation Z. Is that what generation they are? I don't know. I don't know from young people. I believe you just said bang him a little bit.
Just a little. Yeah, bang him and then disappear.
To round number 7. This one's scheduled for 10. Guys, I think this fight is a close fight.
Oh, Grizz just turned it over. Fumble.
Oh no.
Between two guys who know that this win propels
Who are we dealing with? Weber State?
Western Illinois.
Western Illinois.
Hell, if it was Weber State, I wouldn't be here watching the Trillers.
It's way too important. It's a
Come on.
conference game. Although Grizz home opener, a night game. Let's see, it's 6:41 now, and we're right at the end of the first quarter. So I'm gonna say right about 10:30 tonight would be the worst possible time to be at Red's Bar downtown.
Yeah. Or any bar.
Or the best time
Or the best time, depending on.
to get headbutted by a guy from Frenchtown.
He's mad at you for being from Missoula, and he simply works in Missoula.
Okay, now so something's happening on the chat here that I don't totally understand.
What's happening?
All I see is Scott Guillory saying to Augusto, exactly, I'm waiting for Chad or Ben to glance at the chat and try to figure out why the fuck Cody McKenzie is all over the chat.
McKenzie team.
Was it because we were talking about guys in huge shorts earlier?
High elbow guillotine? I don't know what we're doing. Although Josh Mears knows, was Tito not training in Big Bear 5 days a week, training 3 days a week, and then 2 days a week, training 4 days a week?
Do you think Donald Trump speaks to Tito this evening?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perhaps even interviews Tito in the ring. Is that part of his appearance contract?
Who knows?
The leader of the free world. The man who held the nuclear launch code.
Well, now, and wait, you mean Mike Pence? Andrew Nierenhausen asks, "What's your favorite Tito line?" I mean, for me, it's got to be something from that Affliction broadcast.
Trying to keep the food over his kids' heads.
I mean that. I remember Ben Goldstein wrote the Caged Potato Post after Tito was the Affliction commentator, and the headline was something along the lines of Tito Ortiz, like something about how his brain was 10 pounds of cookie dough shoved into a 5-pound bag, and it just had all the greatest lines. It was just where he called him like Hanato Babalu, the greatest light heavyweight of the night. And
See,
or
they're
just
showing the commercials
they are showing it,
for the fight that's going to happen later.
doing the post-fight interviews and doing like a "let me tell you how you feel." Okay, another Trump update. So they were talking about cigarettes.
I can't believe we're missing.
And Don Jr. told a story that he had never told his dad before. At school, his hockey team tried cigarettes. The coach found out and made them do suicides for a full 3-hour practice. DT barely looked at Jr. and wouldn't say a word the entire segment and was clearly steamed. Good stuff.
I understand that it's wise to simply ignore this, but I can't believe we're missing it. Was it an option to watch the
Yeah.
Trump version?
Are you suggesting that we switch over to it?
Yes.
Is that a thing that we can do?
It's in the SAP function, but I mean, I'm watching like a stream, so I don't.
You know what? We got it good right now. Let's not mess with it.
El presidente es muy bueno.
What
That's
is
Spanish. It means the president is at the library.
So after this is Anderson Silva versus Tito Ortiz, right?
so we are led to believe?
I mean, there will be another musical performance, but
Aerosmith versus Nickelback.
if only.
Yeah, you're not going to get Aerosmith on this. There's just that was earlier Trillers.
Before the Trillers realized maybe it wasn't the best idea to empty the bank account on the musical performances.
I mean, then again, I do fondly remember watching Megadeth at that first Affliction event.
Oh,
Came out there playing Symphony of Destruction. Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Fucking hell yeah.
Mhm.
Dave Mustaine looked just like he did in 1994.
Second best metal band in the world.
I don't think he specified metal band. I think he just said band.
Wow.
Is this fight as close as people get? I definitely think so. Through 7 rounds, I have it 67-66 in defenses. It's very easy to see one, if not 2, or even all 3 Florida State side judges.
I paid for all these snacks with the co-main event podcast debit card.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Because I just got a new one in the mail and had to activate it.
Clearwater?
Mhm.
Me too.
These are 7, and now we're around number 8.
Also, my business manager did cash that check you wrote me 6 months ago.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought maybe I should warn you, but I figured.
No, I think we're good for it.
Okay, cool.
The time to warn us was before.
Indeed, sir.
I mean, I did just have to put down a $9,000 deposit on getting a new roof
Oh,
this week.
wow.
So
Scott Guillory wants to know how many bodies does Anderson have to catch in boxing before Chad agrees to eat a Triller hat?
I don't understand what the beef is. Like, I think Anderson Silva's probably pretty good at boxing.
I mean, but remember when you had
Oh, when they said if he got 9 wins, I would eat a UFC hat.
yes.
20. He's got to go 20-0.
Wow. Okay. Felix says, "Wait, what the fuck is my name here? This is Felix. Hello, Ben and Chad. Thank you for setting this up. Hello, everyone. I love you all."
All right.
Oh,
What's
that's
up,
nice.
Felix?
That's the energy that I like to have
That's
here.
right.
Also,
Well,
Tracy Brand says, "Next watch party, we need to tell the story of meeting other CME Patreons at a casino."
Okay.
I don't know how many of those stories there are.
Is she
but-
inviting
Also,
someone else, you know?
I forgot to tell you this earlier.
Also, Scott Giller says, sorry to interrupt, BT Dub, these two guys even box like a bitch. Man, I don't know why anytime anybody brings up that post about Joe Benavidez even sitting like a bitch, like I can barely get through it, where it makes me laugh so hard because it's so fucking stupid. God damn it.
Tracy Brand reminded us if we have a 10-year anniversary get together.
I don't like the way you're saying it.
Which, well, we need to make sure that happens. That's why
Okay.
I'm saying it that way. She's going to bring a bunch of booze.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I just got more interested in making sure that happens. Augusta Leon suggests, how about Chad wears a red tie for a year?
Like every day?
No.
What's he doing?
No.
What's he doing? Oh, he's a puppy.
That's natural.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait, we had a stoppage here in the actual boxing match? What happened?
Peed on the carpet.
Let's make it work, they said, after checking that guy's eyesight.
A detriment to the safety of Joe Ferro.
I don't want to jump on the ref, but that right there was the referee right there. He said it was round 10, it was round 9. I think he a lot of cautions.
Nature's miracle.
Okay, Ben is applying some spray to the carpet right now. Just gonna, we're looking for the spot that the dog peed on. There, he's going with he's covered a wide area right now.
carpet bombing approach.
Ben, what are you spraying on there right now?
That is the Resolve Pet Expert.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we got the pet expert on the scene, so don't worry, you guys. He's pretty much spraying down the whole rug. Smells bad. It smells much worse than just the dog urine with smell. There's some excitement happening in the boxing match. I'm to understand.
Yeah, with these gloves, it only takes 7 to 10 shots in a row. You can get a knockout.
Wow, what a couple of assholes. MMA fan assholes have showed up to the boxing match.
Can happen over any period of time.
Oh, he just hit him with a good right there. What's it say on his back? Is that an ad or is that an actual tattoo?
It looks like Gaelic, perhaps.
This is why I love boxing so much. Because of fighters like this who go all out, who give everything.
They're really selling it. The broadcasting is really selling it.
What I'm seeing does not match with the description I'm hearing.
I looked at you, Ray, and I said he's good for boxing because he understands the boxing in the ring and he understands the entertainment out and inside the ring. He's putting it all together right now.
He just credited Are You Not Entertained to 300. That was his reference.
This right here, because this is what boxing is all about. You gotta fight that. This dude pushing at me, I can't step back no more. And he's like, yo, I'm done stepping back. Let's fight. Let's go. I want this. This is
They also told him this was the last round, right? So he might think that this is the last round. He's going to go back to his corner and they're going to be like, one more, bud.
With my retina. How long do you think before we see our first gender non-binary ring girl? in person.
Well, the fight sports seem to be a ways behind the rest of society in that regard.
Yes.
So he is really unloading on this dude in the replay. All right, here we go. Final round between these two guys who we don't know who they are, but suspect they might be good boxers.
They do keep their hands up better than MMA fighters.
There's going to be dissent with the Florida judges. I'm not smelling a unanimous decision. I can say though the round was decisive for Texas. Round 9 was decisive for Carroll. Every other round has been very close.
I love this kind of fight because of their two young hungry guys who are giving their all. There's a shot downstairs, but it looks like Texas is okay for 50. These are the fights that make lifelong boxing fans.
Well, I guess I'm safe. Oh, it is a Gaelic phrase. It means we'll be fine as long as England doesn't find us.
Oh, she's talking to him now. He's got the hands down by the waist.
That was low.
Based on those numbers right there, it seems wrong. I'm just saying I could be a little bit more.
Ouch.
Wow.
Take that, 50.
Cool. Well, that fellow in blue is quite demonstrative about all this stuff.
He's excited. He's about to get a guaranteed title shot in Triller. Who's the betting favorite in Anderson Silva Tito Ortiz?
I believe Anderson Silva in the boxing match.
Look, seems perfect. What if he comes out, front kick to the face, immediately disqualified, puts his hands up?
Houston Alexander, the former UFC fighter, last night in a BKFC event, knocked a guy out and then punched him when he was on the ground.
I saw that footage of the complimentary additional punch.
And he still got the win. I didn't do anything about it.
Really? Houston Alexander was terrifying in what, 2010?
That could be right. I want to say maybe a little bit before that. But, I mean, he was always a dude who hit super hard, but just like kind of got unraveled in MMA fights.
Kind of a James Irvin figure.
Derek says Anderson Silva is a minus 1,600 favorite.
Well,
these are just normal Twizzlers, Felix. Is there a variety of liquors that will get you high? Is that a thing you can get?
Probably.
Oh, yes. I remember how rough Twizzlers are.
Sean Wheelock has scored this as a draw. Ben has come back with a rag. Well, they haven't said the decision yet. He's wiping down the majority of the carpet.
The affected area.
Carl appears undeterred.
What's that mean? Whatever when it says if it's a draw, who this man? Let's see if it is a draw. We send it up to the dapper chest. Who they both at us? Going all 10 rounds here. Judged by both sets north of that. 95 to 95. Draw.
Uh-oh.
In favor of the winner by way of majority decision.
Oh, this guy's from Ireland. No wonder he has a Gaelic phrase tattooed on his back.
I would have guessed Boston, but Ireland has the second highest number of Irish.
Also, no worry, he thinks of himself as King Kong because he's like 5'9".
I'm telling you, chimpanzee, bite your fingers off, rip off the gonads. That's right, you heard me, buddy.
See, now I just keep thinking of other fun nicknames you could have where you're like a bantamweight and you go by Little Goliath.
Yeah, see, that'd be great. Did you see Houston Alexander knock that guy out in BKFC and then punch him while he was on the
Okay,
ground?
see, I saw the first clip which people shared of him knocking the guy out where he lands that right hand right on the jaw and just drops him face first on the canvas. And I was like, damn, Houston Alexander got that, man. And then I saw somebody share a different angle that continued. He drops him, and then when the guy rolls over, blasts him in the face while he's flat on his back.
Yeah.
And it seemed like, from everything I read, that in BKFC, everybody just agreed to like act like that hadn't happened.
Yeah, he still got the win. There was no apparent consequences for it. So,
and it seems like maybe you can almost understand Houston Alexander, like he just gets so used to MMA that like he was just on autopilot there. But at the same time, you can't do that.
No.
And yet, I guess the flip side of that argument is, are we really going to show up here at BKFC and be like, you went too far, sir, and therefore like you will be punished? Josh Carey notes Houston Alexander, that poor dude, nasty. Tracy Brand says, including Chad and Ben, was anyone live for Koscheck?
live for Koscheck, like when Koscheck was a fighter?
I mean, that was
yeah.
I was
Oh, I mean, did we see him live? That's my fault right there.
Or she was. Tracy
think
Brand says GSP versus Koscheck.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I watched it on television. I wasn't there in
I
person.
remember I was there, and I noted when we went back and watched the Robbie Lawler fights, I was there for that one where Robbie Lawler knocked Koscheck out. I also, though, remember her Augusta Leone's live, meaning torrenting shit afterwards. Sure. I remember. So the Sombrero does throw some stuff out there. I remember talking to Josh Koscheck when he and GSP were going to fight for the title, and I was like, hey, there's all this stuff in the news about GSP hiring Freddie Roach as his boxing trainer and everything. Like, what do you think about that? And Koscheck just said, in that almost bored way of his, wasting his money. He's not going to do any of that. He's just going to wrestle me. Like, he's not actually going to box. Like, he's just going to try to take me down and hold me there. like he's not going to do it. And then GSP went out there and broke his orbital with a jab in
Like
the first round.
punch of the fight.
And Koscheck had to fight the entire fight, not being able to see out of one eye. And was like, well, maybe that was money well spent, honestly. So the Irish guy wore a sombrero.
I believe he took the other maybe guy. Oh wait, did he see the guy who came down with the sombrero?
I mean,
Showmanship. That's what that is.
I mean, it would be a sweet sportsmanship thing if that's what we're doing. Is like we trade kind of costumes at the end of it, like soccer players do.
what you got in that beer assortment there?
Oh, an assortment of fine beers.
Fine taste, eh?
If we're heading into Anderson Silva versus Tito Ortiz, I'm going to open the Oreo
Now's the time.
Thins.
Now is the time. Get into the Oreos.
Oh, that's good, huh?
Yep, that's the mixed pack. The variety pack.
Well, it's a citrus cyclone to me. The only cyclone I endorse, that's an Iowa State rivalry.
I get it.
Yes.
Yeah, Western Illinois just tied it up 7-7.
Well, they have some fans there. Some fans made the trip.
Well, they tied it. They're about to tie it up if they hit the extra point. Oh, there's a flag on the play.
There.
Well, they're taking that one off the board.
Big baby.
Personal foul, chop block against the offense. So that touchdown does not count.
You can't do that. That's cheating.
This is my first time eating the Oreo Thins. They're delightful.
Higher ratio of cream to cookie or thin throughout?
I would say higher ratio of cookie.
Oh, interesting.
That would seem like the opposite of what I would ask for from Oreo if they were to come to me in sort of a focus group type scenario.
You would like double the stuff.
You know what?
So to speak.
You just came up with a great idea. I feel. Okay, I gotta like a fighter who says thank you for having me at the end of his post-fight interview, as if he has just been interviewed on NPR.
Our Night of Legends continues.
How many legends do you feel like we've seen?
I saw a Facebook update about this fight card, calling it the most anticipated fight of the decade.
Well, the decade. I don't know if it's the most anticipated fight card of the month.
Oh, what's this though?
Anderson Silva fans.
Oh,
look at this.
We're using that Quentin Tarantino Once Upon a Time in Hollywood technology to put Snoop Dogg in old Marvin Gaye videos. Is that what we're doing?
Snoop Dogg kind of looks like if Booker T got stomach cancer.
Oh God. Could you guys make that out on the live chat? And what are we using this technology just to get Snoop Dogg to just kind of dance? Because I don't feel like that's what Snoop Dogg's really known for.
Seems like something good just happened for the Grizz, but I missed it. Now we're at commercial. Get you guys an update as soon as we're back.
Oh, thank God.
What is this?
I think by adding Snoop Dogg, it counts as parody, so they don't have to pay for the Marvin Gaye thing.
Okay, now Snoop's doing something. Okay, here's interesting. Josh Carey notes, I'm pals with a cousin of private investigator Curtis Razor Blades, and I always find it weird to hear some of the more humanizing stories of these guys. What's a funny one you guys found surprising? I mean, the one I found the least surprising is a story about Donald Cerrone fucking up a like some random gym dude who secretly recorded a
Yeah.
sparring session.
That was a story Melvin Gillard told me. I mean, I've talked to multiple fighters, including the Crochet boss, when they are clearly watching their kids.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, maybe it seemed like maybe Maurice Green was taking his kids through the drive-through at Hardee's or something, trying to get them all fed, and then carrying them up the stairs to his apartment. I found that endearing. This Marvin Gaye stuff is still going.
Yep. We had Snoop do a little rap there.
Is Snoop the most embarrassing old rapper?
I mean, for sure.
Jay-Z?
Oh yes.
No, there is not a chance on this earth that Jay-Z is more embarrassing.
Jay-Z just doesn't
than
ask you to
Snoop
think about him
Dogg.
as much as Snoop does.
Snoop was always clownish though. Like he never took it seriously, but Jay-Z, like he was like, this is real, this is, Hov did that, so you don't have to go through that, etc. And now he's going through shit that I'm also doing, I guess, being a dad and whatnot.
Maybe. I just think Snoop's pretty embarrassing these days.
Yes, indeed.
Tuesday night, we have another Trillerverse rap battle.
Trillerverse rap battle.
This actually, I think, is a good idea. To get these kind of like classic guys to do rap battles, having fun, respecting each other.
Oh, so it's a rap battle and a night of world-class boxing?
It seems that way.
$2.99 per month.
For history in the making. September 14th. Get the Trillerverse subscription for $2.99 per month. Go to trillerfightclub.com.
That is going down September 14th. Fat Joe and Ja Rule facing off. But right now,
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
UFC champion Silva and Ortiz are treating the octagon.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Came here to lose tonight, but it's not all they have in common. Check this out.
Oh, neither one came to lose. But that's all they have in common, except for they work for the same promotion for about 10 years.
He understood he understood striking really, really well. One of the first water, everything's super fast, super slow. I'm excited.
It's excited.
I don't think Harrison ever fought anybody like me. It's because of the aggression, pressure, stuff. And that's one of the reasons why he wants to get anyone.
Anderson Silva's never fought anyone like me before, says Tito Ortiz. Okay, that was pretty good. Anderson Silva.
When you go inside the cage, it doesn't matter. When the fighting starts, everything's changed. This is my superpower. I had to fight when they fought. I had no choice. I'll take my best in the world. The best in the world is afraid of my power. So I'm gonna force a big fight. Tito, thank you for accept this fight. Let's go do the big show for the friends to sport in the world.
He does appear to be calling him Cheeto.
Cheeto.
Silva, well, if you're ready, I'm gonna hurt you.
I'm sorry, but I think this is not happening.
I mean, that was a vignette that capitalized on the best of Anderson Silva.
Indeed.
Well, at least Tito found somewhere he can wear his flame shorts. Even though it looks kind of weird with the boxing gloves in a way I didn't totally expect.
Is joining us along with Sean Porter.
Carl, please. Control yourself.
Taylor S asks, where did Ben go? He back. Occasionally go outside with Carl the dog, trying to make sure he doesn't pee on my rug anymore. Carl,
Carl's starting to get hyped.
you're a nuisance, Carl.
He knows
Come on.
that the big fights are coming up.
Come here, Carl.
Hello, Carl. Come here. Whom do you prefer, Sir Nigel or your stupid dad? Carl has spoken. That's correct. That's correct. Oh, yes.
So what happened? The penalty erased the Western Illinois touchdown, and we're still
Raised the
7-0
Western
Grizz.
Illinois touchdown, then they had to punt, and then the Grizz have driven down to the field, and they are facing a 3rd down from the 11-yard line. 3rd and 10. So they got to get to the 2, it looks like, to get a 1st down. And they just scored a touchdown.
Oh, nice.
Back shoulder throw there.
Okay, now that I've had one of these Oreo thins, I see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oreo thins, and then they're mint.
Mhm.
Like,
Mints.
they're basically daring the Girl Scouts to do something. No. Like, what do you, lawyer up, Girl Scouts?
Mhm.
You want to come at Nabisco? You best not miss.
I got to be honest, in the cookie aisle, I'm not even sure that they had regular Oreos there. They had peanut butter Oreos. They had birthday cake Oreos.
You're saying no Oreo classic.
There might have been. I just didn't see them.
And these are quite good.
Scott Guillory wants to know, did Tito make a Anderson is my bitch t-shirt? Like, what do you say? Does Tito have a post-fight t-shirt with a message like the good old days?
You did miss the video vignette where they did a funny thing where Tito would say a bunch of his Tito stuff. Like Anderson Silva is afraid of my power. I'm going to destroy him, et cetera, et cetera. And then they would cut to Anderson Silva and he would say, I don't think so. Ooh, these guys are both 46. Tito Ortiz is looking it, I have to say, too.
He is.
That's a 46-year-old Tito Ortiz right there. Looking like a guy who spent the last couple of years as the mayor pro tem of Huntington Beach, California.
But not showing up for work.
Not coming anywhere near completing a full term.
Now you have to lose 40 pounds.
Why would you interview him at
40 pounds.
Because you can.
Also, Tito Ortiz got that other flag that's a parody of the American flag.
Remember that flag, that double-sided flag that he used to do, used to be the American flag and then the Mexican flag.
Cool.
And now it's the one that says, like, I am an American, but I'm also kind of a fascist.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that.
The American flag and the pickup truck flag.
The American flag and the, but I don't believe in all the constitutional rights flag. I saw a guy in the grocery store today who had a shirt with the American flag on it, and it said, just try to burn this one, asshole. And
Just daring other men to try to get his shirt off.
yeah, just like a shirt that I'm going to express my patriotism for one thing by suggesting I will react violently to a constitutionally protected act. But two, the one that just like attacks you preemptively for something that I imagine you might want to do. And he's wearing this in the grocery store with his kids.
Oh, the kids. Oh, it's got the blue and the red firefighters and cops.
I saw a flag last night in the back of someone's truck, of course. That was that flag, but had a blue stripe, a red stripe, and a green stripe.
The army. Or the
Is that what the
armed
green stripe?
forces, yes.
I thought it was a gay pride flag. But I guess probably was not.
It's the only bed you're going to get. Don't you chew it up.
There's another one. I think there's one with a yellow stripe for security guards.
Oh, get out of
Not
here.
kidding.
No, come on.
That's where I draw the line.
I mean, given
Security
my
guards.
experience with security guards back in the late 90s when I was working at the mall, the yellow stripe, I think, is the right one.
Okay, fair point. Tracer Brand notes that I should have been wearing my bitch fucking season t-shirt when I ran into this guy. Of course, I mean, I was with my kids and I have a sense of decorum. So.
I don't think that was even.
Did you come out to Hulk Hogan music?
I wasn't listening, but I'll take your word for it.
Do other people hear that? You
I
guys hear the
trust that
Hulk
you know
Hogan
the Hulk Hogan theme song when you hear it.
I'm about a full sleep hearing that.
Got Michael Buffer back.
One of the ring girls is shinier than the other.
Hand me one of those beers.
Oh, that's what you're doing. I thought it was an Anderson Silva fan gesture, with which I was
He
unfamiliar.
was summoning spirits.
There he is.
Let's see, here's the thing. Whenever I watch one of these events, you get these walkouts where we got smoke machines and sparks flying, and you're reminded like the UFC has long since decided we do not care about live production values or entertainment. Like we're just doing like just some fights. Look what you can do with some fights that are in fact bullshit if you play them up.
All you got to have
Like
is
they
a
were big
smoke
time.
machine and some sparklers, and there you are. There you go.
Well, now we have the graphic showing Anderson Silva but saying Tito Ortiz, so that's fun. Stephen Summer notes, Anderson has his own silhouette as his logo and brought back the DMX intro. Come on. And notes, Masvidal joins the broadcast.
Okay.
Masvidal. Oh. I can't believe President Gamebred and Original Gamebred are on the same broadcast.
Oh, the dead game.
As you may remember, I'm a monster Anderson Silva fan. And even I cannot wear Anderson Silva apparel because of the stupid B logo.
Derek notes, I'm listening to the former president talk about how Anderson is a great fighter. This is fucking weird. And then Aruj Islam just writes, game bread in Sir Nigel voice.
Tito Ortiz looks pretty intense.
Are you saying Tito Ortiz bringing a lot of intensity prior to the bell?
Well,
I feel like he has that James.
I'm doing the beer gesture.
Okay, the Silva gesture. I feel like Ortiz has that James the Colossus Thompson effect, though. Where
No, that's the one with coconut. Give me a different one. I'm gonna do it with a different.
Oh, they're all.
No, oh no.
They'll all be coconut. Ah, here we go. This one's maybe different.
Yeah, okay. Tropical notes, double dry hopped tropical notes. Okay, Saul says prop bet Silva does the grave digging thing over a KO'd Tito.
Ooh.
I mean, if he does that, like I would say there's very little that Anderson Silva could do here tonight to increase his legendary status. But if he does that, man, he goes up on Mount Olympus tonight.
I'm going to say Silva works in a level trajectory elbow sometime in the second round.
Just front kick to the face. Rules be damned. Dare them to do something about it, you know?
Is where the locker room is.
Nobody looks too explosive early on here.
Two-minute round.
Yeah. And it's Anderson that's kind of looking like maybe he forgot that it's 2-minute rounds because he's not really doing a whole lot.
Oh, he's
so
doing
far.
the Anderson Silva
It's
thing.
already a minute gone. Yeah, but he could do the Anderson Silva thing in a 5-minute round because he still had plenty of time to work after he fucked around for 60 seconds. Oh, good right hand by Silva. Oh, what? Tito gets slept. Face down, slept. What?
How on earth?
What? Oh, man.
Done. We are done. 29 seconds on the clock in the first round.
And Anderson Silva didn't even start fighting until the second minute. He looks bored. What? What?
I didn't even
Like
see
the
a
dream
replay
he
of
had.
this.
Oh, I just gotta hold on real tweet a reaction gif here real quick. Just real quick.
Carl believes it was his fault that Tito Ortiz got knocked out. That's a cool fault.
Whoa. Tito looks confused, shaking his head like no.
He just wants to go out there and fight.
I need to see a replay here, fellas.
It looked like he caught him. He pivoted off to the angle and hit that right hand, and then looked like that one shocked Tito enough that he couldn't quite follow where Anderson Silva even was at that point, and so was basically standing behind him, jacking him with hooks. Brandon Boyd notes, my $5 just made me $45.
Well,
Okay.
Drinks on Brandon, everybody. Max Hawkins notes, Trump, is he known as that big of a puncher?
oh dear.
Scott Guillory, Tito absolutely failed the what the fuck test.
He
He was
did.
not aware that the test was being given. So yeah.
I need to see a replay. Are they not
Yeah.
going to show a replay
No,
of
we
Tito getting knocked
gotta
out?
see it again.
I think they're going to show it during the half hour before the next fight.
Wait for the official time. Ortiz right now doesn't look so much hurt.
Tito can.
John Oakes wonders, what if Silva KO'd Tito so hard they did a Freaky Friday?
Yeah.
That's when you know you fucked up. You knock somebody out so hard that like you blink and you realize that you were in their body. And you go, oh god damn it. This is what I've always feared.
Tito Ortiz.
Arouge Islam notes, Chad is 7 wins away from eating a hat.
No, 20. I said he had to go 20-0.
Is this Michael Buffer?
Yep.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Meanwhile, the Grizz threw a pick six.
Oh no. Oh no.
Western Illinois is lining up for the point after here.
Tommy Hearn's quietly leaving the arena just in case.
Anderson Silva sponsored by Adidas. Hope he's getting some money for that.
Still have yet to see a replay, huh?
So into the ring now, and Ashley Haas is with the win.
I am joined with Anderson Silva.
You're joined with Anderson
Oh,
Silva?
no.
Two have become one.
Training hard for this fight, like training hard for showing my respect for boxing world, and I continue to work every day to prove my respect for the martial arts and for Wing Chun and for Bruce Lee.
For Wing Chun and for Bruce Lee. That's what this one was for.
One punching, you couldn't make your move.
Wow, the Grandmaster Bruce Lee say,
Here we go.
"You walk it, my friend." That's how you do today.
Well, I've already seen a replay on Twitter before I've seen a replay on the broadcast.
Continue training and
Oh,
So we haven't seen the last of you yet, huh?
probably.
Aw. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
I feel like no one involved in Triller is doing the main thing. Like the only dude is an actuary.
oh, let's give Tito his flag. Let him sadly walk out with his flag. Getting
Firefighters really
slept.
let him down.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at our replay of that first round knockout by Anderson Silva.
Okay, here we go. Tito pitter patting him. Anderson Silva.
Oh,
with
that
the
right hand.
Just
And then
oh,
it's- yeah,
oh,
it's
no.
basically just that right hand as he pivots off, and then he catches him with a left hook right behind the ear, and that's it. Oh,
that's a
he
hard
didn't
one.
like that.
Out from under it.
He didn't like that. He missed
No, he's
that one.
basically out there.
Yeah.
And he hits him again and tries to hit him again.
Oh, good night. Oh, oh, yeah, he's done there.
You know
And then-
what?
oh,
In
two
real
more
time, that
lefts.
didn't look like that hard of a punch, but it was.
Yeah, I mean, he just catches him right inside there. That right hook in close. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, he doesn't even realize that Anderson Silva is gone now. Oh,
This is that one.
and then that one, and one more. Oh,
Lansing.
good night. I mean, that was satisfying.
Yeah,
That was
yes, it was.
satisfying as a motherfucker.
Yes, it was.
Best boxing match of the last 10 years, I would say.
Man, Tito was basically out after that first one. Like he would have fallen down if not for the ropes in the corner.
Tracy Dickinson notes, fireworks are going off in my neighborhood. Somebody's celebrating Silva's KO. Pulver says, Tito's shirt maker must be so bummed he didn't get to show off the shirt he made for this win. Shirt maker, you mean the mall? The people at the mall? No, Augusta Leon knows, just in case any of us forgot what an inscrutable weirdo Anderson is. Show up and mention Wing Chun and Bruce Lee a whole lot of times.
And be smirking the whole time.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need it.
All right, Arouge Islam says, what are you guys betting for the main event? I have no idea where to go for this fight.
Yeah, I have no idea either.
I saw a little bit of footage of
Okay, here we go.
and it was rough. I think 58 is a little old for Evander Holyfield, whom I loved as a kid. I identified with him. We're the same body type.
Yeah.
But I think he's too old to be fighting in a ring or out of a ring.
I also think Vitor Belfort has rediscovered his fitness regimen.
Ah, yes. At the bottom of his duffel bag.
His trainer is back.
The money's different when you get one night, something like this on the Triller platform.
Yeah, I mean, if you make me pick, I think Vitor beats him just by Evander Holyfield being old.
Yeah.
But if it turns out that Evander Holyfield just has that much savvy and ring craft, maybe I won't be stunned. And also, let's not act like there's not a very good chance that Evander Holyfield comes out here and lands as many as 3 headbutts against Vitor Belfort, since that was kind of his thing, especially as the years wore on.
True, but Vitor Belfort certainly did enough Vale Tudo. He has been headbutted. I'm going to show my ignorance here, but who is this man in the amazing jacket? Not 50 Cent, the good jacket.
I think he's a fighter of some kind.
Somebody ought to be, you know. I'm gonna check on these children.
I mean, probably the most likely thing that happens is that Vitor Belfort and Evander Holyfield have an uninspired 8-round sparring session.
Yeah. I think if you put their brains in robot bodies,
Okay.
then Holyfield wins.
Yeah.
Certainly. But as a late replacement, Holyfield has not had time to take, for example, a course of vitamins that would prepare him.
I mean, he looks like he has never stopped taking the vitamins.
True. And
So,
why would you?
He's got that going for him.
If 50 takes his shirt off right now, who looks better, him or Evander Holyfield?
Hard to tell with that bulky outfit that 50 Cent has on.
And an extra thick t-shirt, I think. I don't know about this. I don't know. I'm concerned no one is inside Evander Holyfield anymore.
Well, we'll be joining you here in just a few minutes for our main event, but right now, let's send it back to Mario Lopez.
Man, what a fight, what a knockout. This place is rocking right now, and everyone here is still in a state of shock. But when I was party going, the music continues with Puerto Rico's
Wow. We got to get into another live musical performance here before we get to the main event.
What's his name? Limonada?
Okay, now who we watching?
Great question. Somebody from Puerto Rico, we've established. Sir Nigel thinks his name might be Limonada.
It means lemonade. Everyone loves lemonade.
This is also, at least so far and away, the least inspired musical performance we've seen.
Indeed.
It's a good thing we saved it for right before the main event.
I don't know. Snoop rapped literally 8 bars before it was all
That's
over.
true. That's true. Somehow this guy dredging up less energy than Marvin Gaye.
Reggaeton beat, though, perhaps most durable beat in pop music. We're going on 14 years of reggaeton. Do you remember Mr. Vegas?
Refresh my memory.
Heads high.
No.
I can't sing it in my unique accent. He was like a dance hall guy from like 2004.
Okay, sounds right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, he had a hit.
I mean, I admire this guy's shirt. It's got a sailboat on it.
I feel like that's the kind of shirt that's like a TJ Maxx find
Yeah.
right there.
Found it at TJ Maxx this afternoon. Was like, maybe I'll wear this on the Trillers tonight.
Amazing outfit on his guitar.
Is there an audience for this? Is there an audience out here watching the Triller boxing pay-per-view who is like, can't wait for Limunada's performance before the main event? Because there could be an audience for that, and I just wouldn't know it.
And I assume they did a certain amount of research and chose this guy based on that. Certainly the Hispano-Hablante audience for boxing is real.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure boxing fans tuning into Triller tonight.
%100% chance that's a pair of women's sunglasses that he's wearing.
Oh yes, they're cool. That's my associate, the 14-year-old boy with whom I live.
Yeah, you may not want to refer to him as your associate. That's certainly has a different connotation than you mean.
Kayfabe is not, or certainly has not quite figured out the kayfabe on what to do about parenthood. Doesn't really fit with the mythos.
This guy's still going. Every time he starts talking, I feel like he's wrapping it up. And then we're out here still doing it. He's still going.
It's cool to finally see the guy who made the song that I hear from cars all the time. What foreign language does a rapper work best in?
I mean, Spanish, I suppose, is the rap music that we have the most exposure to.
Right.
French, there's also a notable like French rap.
Mm-hmm.
Russian, there's a lot of Russian rappers at this point.
Those are my 3 picks as well, and I feel like it's all, the same way. Like when you rap for the first time, you stop each line at the end of each line, and there's a problem. I feel like that's what the foreign rappers do. Like French and everything, it's like a Shel Silverstein poem.
I mean, I suppose there was probably a lot of Japanese and Chinese rap at this point.
Yeah,
Korean, there's
true.
probably a lot of Korean rap.
True.
My children are super into Blackpink right now. Korean K-pop group.
They're called Blackpink.
Blackpink, yep. In fact, the first time we were having dinner and my 6-year-old was like, can we listen to Blackpink? I was like, Blackpink? Buddy, I don't think that's a real, oh, holy shit. Yeah, no, we can. We can.
Oh, we're still doing this.
Wow, are we rolling out another 8.6% alcohol beer
I
here?
keep forgetting that I have open beers. I've got 3 open beers.
Good Lord.
Every time I have to go out there with Carl. Good news, Carl pooped again though, everybody. I'm sure
Outside.
everybody, yeah,
Good job, Carl.
outside.
Good boy.
Good dog, Carl.
This guy's still going, so
Yeah.
you didn't miss him.
Okay. Did you read with your kids the board book, Good Dog, Carl?
No.
You're familiar with this book?
Read it in the bookstore.
Super old. it
Save
seems.
$9.
That'll show them.
Mm-hmm.
Make books.
They should wrap them.
Trump must be loving this.
A smattering of applause for Limonada.
Hi, everybody. And of course, we are getting closer to tonight's main event.
Lanai.
We're already so
Brandon Boyd says, Stefan bet $10 on a 4-time heavyweight champion to win $250. Ain't too crazy. Are the odds really like that? I mean, the Bet Montana app, seems like they just don't fuck with celebrity boxing at all. Like every time I check to see if they're doing anything with boxing. Oh no, Carl, you got some shit here. Come here, man. Come here.
Carl, don't pull our whole shit over, Carl.
Good boy, Carl. Fuck shit up.
Every time
I
they're,
would
they're
like-
basically like Anthony Joshua has a fight in the coming weeks, and other than that, do not bother us.
I would like to read an explainer about who runs the Montana Bet website and how.
Because it's basically got to be a bookie,
Do you
like
think
a
it's
newly legal bookie.
do you think it's someone actually in the state, or do you think that it's like a service that you can buy into?
Come on, man. Everything you know. Okay, you're just gonna dump the barbecue chips over the tortilla. Okay.
Yes.
Fusion. I think it's someone's nephew. Who's
I'm
that
also
guy?
not taking any of this stuff home. So
That guy?
you're welcome.
Randy Panucci. I bet it's Randy Panucci.
Everything you know about the way Montana state government does stuff when it comes to, especially stuff being newly legalized. No, get down. You must be out of your mind. You know that they are not being like, all right, let's start a whole new, like, let's get a betting expert in here. And like, they're just like some shyster out there in Florida or Texas or something is be like, pay me money. I will set up your betting app website thing. And then you can just, and I'll take a cut and you can just sit here and make some money and just not think about it. And you know, that's what they're doing. Also, though, it's interesting that it took Montana and everybody else, you know, now we're starting to get into like sports gambling and acting like, oh, it's this whole new frontier. Like we ain't been doing shake a day in bars in Montana forever.
Right.
And poker.
Live poker
And 50-50 raffles at every event.
and just like video poker and Keno machines. I once saw a woman win a shake a day thing at the Rhino in downtown Missoula. Where the pot was like over $1,000. She was super drunk when she won it. She shouted out, "Hell yeah, that's right. Suck my dick, all of you." And then bought the entire bar around.
Oh, nice.
And then disappeared off into the night. And I got the sense she wasn't going straight home.
Yeah.
But it was especially like she told us all to suck her dick, but then bought us all around. And we went,
Nice. Fair
enough.
I talked to a fellow. I was watching the Hawkeye game at Reds last weekend.
Of course you were.
My brother, young Liam Nunstall, and I talked to a fellow who said that the Bet Montana app would not work in certain locations, but all of them in Montana, in and around Missoula. He lived in Frenchtown.
The app does not work for me. I have to go place my bets at the bar.
Interesting. So, but you're doing it on the app then? It would
Yeah. Well, sometimes I've done it at Katie O'Keefe's, but I also can do it at the app.
From your home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to create an account and everything.
And do you have a 406 cell phone?
I do.
Okay. But you do too.
Yeah.
Hilarious exchange on the commentary just now. Somebody saying that Evander Holyfield said that he had told his kids, like, I'm not going to get hurt. Don't worry. I may not win, but I'm not going to get hurt. To which the boxer replied, he said, I may not win. Oh, there's a dog. Okay.
When you got bit, yeah.
What's the moment
Ask
that
50
stands
Cent a
out in
question
Evander
like that.
Holyfield's career? And 50 Cent just says ear. I mean, to me, one of my favorite fights to go back and especially watch the highlights of is Evander Holyfield and George Foreman.
Yes.
Where like George Foreman is like fucking 60 years old or whatever at the time. I mean, he's like 45, but still. And he fought Holyfield, had a whole bunch of pounds on him and everything, but also like Holyfield just fucking cracked him so many times in that fight. And George Foreman just kind of looked at him because he was just like, that was one of the things he could do at that time. He could take a punch and he could hit you and he could just sort of like measure out his energy and last a full fight. But man, there are so many moments in that fight where it's just, especially that was like prime Holyfield, where he just looks carved out of stone.
Carved up, carved beef.
Carved beef.
Which one of them is carved beef? Carved up.
Which one of them's the ham? Which one of them's carved ham? And man, he took some shots from Holyfield in that fight, and still, though, it was a back and forth fight to an extent.
This is the one thing I know about boxing. Heavyweight division, different type of power. You see it got getting touched. And do it on the floor for a minute. It's a different type of power. So
I still can't really believe that Anderson Silva did that to Tito Ortiz
Wonderful.
with basically like one punch.
See, okay, here's to let you guys in a little behind the curtain. I went in there to check on how my daughters are doing. They're watching their iPad, eating their snacks. And they said, why were you guys yelling? And I said, oh, this guy who we kind of don't like got knocked out by this guy that we do like. And it was very surprising, but also very satisfying. And they kind of looked at me like, so this is what you do, huh? Like,
This is your life, huh?
this is what entertains you.
Meanwhile, they're drawing a horse that lives under
Anyway.
the ocean.
We're gonna watch Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh,
Man, we're doing a lot of like
This is
kind of
computer
crude
generated,
Mac
you know?
art,
Yeah.
Brazilian stuff. Like this is like if you set your screensaver to Brazil, this is what happens.
It is better than the video package of the Guns N' Roses concert, though.
everything is better than the video package at the Guns N' Roses concert.
Okay, I was trying to tell somebody the other day about how Brazilians have the best sayings, and about how whenever you heard a Brazilian fighter say, "In my country, we have a saying," you would immediately start paying attention, and they asked, "What was the best one?" And to me, I still think the best one that I still use on my children is "Go cry in bed, it's warmer."
Oh, see, I thought you were going to go with "It's the boss's car."
See, I'm still not even totally sure what that one means, which is how I feel about 80% of the Brazilian sayings. Especially, remember Jose Aldo had one once where he was like, "Hey, sometimes you have to play dead just to fuck the gravedigger in the ass." And you were like, "What? Bro, what? Why do you need to fuck the gravedigger in the ass?" You don't remember this one?
No, I feel like I would remember that if
I
I'd heard it before.
I think as was my protocol, I asked Fernanda about it, and she was like, "Okay, even that one, even I don't have any clue on. I've never heard that one before." But I asked her about, because it was Anderson Silva who said the thing once about "Go cry in bed, it's warmer." And I asked her, I was like, "Is that a legit one?" She was like, "Oh yeah, my mom used to say it to me all the time." Oh God!
Oh,
Now
wow.
we're gonna do a somber September 11th remembrance.
Let's get ready to remember.
There's Jorge standing next
Right
to Donald
next to
Trump
the
and Don
president.
Jr. and Junior Dos Santos.
The ultimate sacrifice. Really, we're tolling the bell.
Yep. Bro, you got to do it faster than that.
Yeah, that's too much time.
We're only up to 3. Come on, man.
Is he getting heckled right now? 6, 7, 8, 9.
This was a bad idea.
They're shouting.
It sounds like we turned the mic down. Holyfield's got a pretty dope robe though.
Tracy Brand notes this is weird.
Yeah.
She's not wrong.
Man, this is Montana Regional Circuit MMA attendance.
What?
Now are we gonna do a national anthem now? You guys. Are we also gonna do the Brazilian national anthem, or are we just doing just the American?
I mean, it's an important day for us.
And look how we're spending it. I think Augusta Leon sums up all our feelings when he says, "What the fuck is going on?"
DeCory's parents are making a monster.
Scott Guillory notes, "See, Ben, ring girls are good for something. Someone's got to carry the flag." Okay. Is it Rashad?
Rashad Evans is getting very soulful.
Okay, the long hair is a good look for Rashad, though. I'll say that.
Looks totally different.
Also, how does this 9-year-old kid own a just fucking doper suit than anything I've ever owned in my life?
See, what had happened was Bruce Buffer put it in the dryer by accident.
That'll happen. That'll happen. Also, now we're doing the screensaver of America.
Stock footage.
Golden Gate Bridge, guy holding a flag that is probably any flag you need it to be. And then we Photoshop in the American flag. This is exactly the sort of tacky display on a solemn occasion that really does sum up America at this current time.
Reminds me of when I went to Fight for the Troops.
Oh, yeah.
Randy Couture and Matt Lindland were both running around in obvious rental tuxedos.
Matt Lindland, what's he doing right now? Do you think?
He was coaching the USA wrestling team for a while.
Oh, right.
The USA chant going.
Remember when he fought Fedor and Fedor appeared to grab the rope?
Appeared. Yeah, I'll tell you who remembers is Matt Lindland.
Fedor allegedly grabbed the rope.
I got the Trump flag.
2024, take America back.
Take America back
From whom?
to its worst period in the last 30 years.
Blue tie from Trump.
Yeah.
That signifies that his appearance tonight is not political.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. This is an honor to be with you, and what a great evening. And I think you're going to see an incredible fight. And Jorge, it's great, Junior. It's great to be with you guys and champions. We love you, man. Special people, special warriors.
Don Jr., not a warrior.
Nope, didn't mention Don Jr. at all.
Oh, when he said Junior, I guess he meant Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah.
Oh God, cut his mic for God's sakes.
Yeah.
We've seen some good ones. That last one was that was, you think it's going to be so you've been calling a very accurate. I think it's going to be a show.
Look at this. Jorge Masvidal and Junior Dos Santos saving Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Now, two great fighters. One's a boxer, though the other's
Don Jr. has no idea where he is. So everybody was like, well, we're gonna wear like the suits, the suit coats, everything. Junior was like, hey, I'm having a good time.
My girlfriend, she is selling these shirts.
So from the 45th president to 56.
Well, Brandon Boyd is gonna go fuck Masvidal, fuck Trump, fuck Lloyd Irvin. It's been a while since I heard of fuck Lloyd Irvin.
I mentioned him earlier. I assume. I compared him to Houston Alexander.
Oh, okay.
Both like vicious knockout artists, look real good getting off the bus. Not great careers.
I think we're talking about Lloyd Irvin, the jiu-jitsu guy.
Oh. Wait, I'm thinking of James Irvin.
Yes.
Sorry.
No 3 knockdown rule, thank God. It can continue even after multiple knockdowns in the same 2-minute round. Oh,
One
I was
knockdown
worried.
every 45
I was
seconds.
so worried.
The T is silent.
I'm expect Jesus, bro, every day.
Holyfield, has that changed anything in the way that you approach tonight in your fight?
I'm fighting a bigger man. I'm very excited. Fighting the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Well,
Fighting the greatest heavyweight he can remember.
I feel like Triller has figured out an even worse interview strategy than immediately interviewing the person who won the fight, like interviewing them right before they walk out.
Well, more or less united America. It's time to make a change. 9/11. So many people
What?
are going to try right now. I want to pray for all the sin that have been affected. Let's unite. Let's make it great.
So Vitor Belfort told us it's time for America to make a change. 9/11, so many people affected. Let's unite and make America great again.
Mhm.
I have no idea what he wants to have happen.
The young dinosaur. So many animals in your house. I really
Yes.
enjoy it. This guy seems like you were missing a corner of your ear, sir.
He's missing a corner of both ears, I think due to frostbite.
Oh no.
Before I got him, I think Mick lived out on these streets.
What's up, Mick?
And
AKA
even
Norman?
now, the way he will come home with another cat's claw stuck in his head, the way that he just does not give a fuck about anybody else, dog, human, cat, whatever. It's just Mick is about that thug life.
I noticed him impassively allowing Carl to sniff and then at one point chew on his leg.
Hold on. Most finishes in UFC history? With 12?
That doesn't sound right.
It does not sound right. I gotta look it up.
All right, Mick. Go sleep in the dog bed.
Okay. Charles Oliveira has 17 finishes. Donald Cerrone has 16. Vitor tied with Anderson Silva and Matt Brown with 14. So they didn't even have the right number, nor did they have the right person.
I believe it.
So That took me about 4 seconds with my phone.
I'm sure you'll find a more in shape 58-year-old on planet Earth. 56.
Do you think, after California would not license his belt and they had to move it to Florida at the last minute, do you think Andy Foster is watching this shit and being like, hey, better you than me? Or do you think he's just like, you know what? Someone tell me how it turns out later. I don't want to be a part of it.
He's probably not watching it.
I imagine him at like a wine tasting. Somewhere outside Sacramento, checking his phone every once in a while for updates. Saul suggests new job for Ben, Triller's fact checker. You know what? I'll do it. Just gotta give me an adult version of that suit coat that the kid was wearing for the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
For him, is that like singing Freebird?
Yeah, didn't he wasn't it a thing for a while that he charged like $15,000 just to say that? Like you could have him come to your event and say it. But...
Which one of those is the coaches that said that De La Hoya was faking the COVID?
I'm gonna guess it's the guy in the ring with the gloves on, but I don't know for sure.
I mean, it's amazing how that man's traps grew back. You know,
25 years in combat sports. Vitor Belfort.
His professional record, 44 victories, including 29 big knockouts. He comes to us from Atlanta, Georgia, USA. He's a 6-time world champion, the former undisputed, undefeated cruiserweight champion. He was the former undisputed.
Looks like he's gonna cry.
He does look pretty emotional. I was gonna say, does it seem like Evander Holyfield will start to ask himself what he's doing out there?
Or he's like, my God, I feel alive again.
Yeah, or he's like thinking like, I might never get another one of these. Who knows?
Yeah. Or finally he's like, here's my chance to punch Vitor Belfort.
I mean, provided Vitor stands still for 5 to 8 seconds. The time it takes from what we saw in that open workout video from where Evander Holyfield goes from deciding that he wants to punch to when he actually lands. Or playing possum. Here's where we find out that was all an act.
Yes, this is where we find out.
Remember that scene, The Prestige? The old guy with this fishbowl between his legs. The act was acting like he was old and decrepit.
A living legend. 8 rounds, 2 minutes each. Here we go.
Pillow Track Club.
Well, shit. That can happen to anybody.
2 men who benefit from the cut of boxing trunks.
Belfort also just with the giant shorts.
No, I mean, it's given that when you go to box as like an over 35 fighter, you basically are like, well, how about those trunks that Shaq used to wear when he was at LSU? I want some of those.
I cannot bear to watch him hit Evander Holyfield.
Maybe.
Well, he hasn't. Well,
Oh.
I'm told Holyfield, this is the time when Vitor Belfort is usually dangerous.
Wait a minute.
I think he went down just missing that punch. Holyfield looking like maybe it's a great thing these are only 2-minute rounds. Oh, good uppercut by Vitor puts Holyfield down. Holyfield get up with that face like, what time is Matlock on? Oh God.
Oh no.
Yeah, do something rough. This is bad. Yeah.
Wow. Stopped by the referee in the first round.
And that referee prevented something bad from happening because that was not, Holyfield was not going to do shit there.
Yeah, an appropriate stoppage. Maybe should have stopped it during the booking phase.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not going to say that was an uplifting performance.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing the beginning of Triller's no one over 50 policy.
Well,
Whoa.
Celebrating with his family. And look what it means to let his daughters are in tears. Dad just beat Evander Holyfield.
Back did hit the canvas too.
And he wasn't doing anything. Like he was just getting bombed on. And like every time Belfort touched him, you could see that he was in trouble. No, there's
is
not.
there?
There's not.
I mean,
because of the way he reacted. Burgos is a referee is thinking Holyfield has been dropped once. Belfort is throwing, Holyfield is not throwing back. You don't have to agree with that stop.
Belfield is looking red and puffy.
Well, the best thing I can say is that it could have been worse.
Yes, that's true. And remember what Anderson Silva did.
That's right. Let's watch that highlight again.
I mean, that was,
oh, he didn't get him with an uppercut there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like not a super hard Vitor Belfort uppercut, I have to say, unless it looks different on this slow-mo. I mean, not.
Yeah. Mostly arms.
But then he also, like, after he gets up, he nails him with a straight left. That's pretty good. And he has him in trouble.
Man, Holyfield just looked like he couldn't even do that anymore. Like he didn't have any balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he fell down throwing a punch.
Now that was now he was worked over to that point. That was first.
Yeah, look, he got one of that straight left. That hurt him.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Body shots to the leg cleanly. So about 20.
I mean, like, what? He wasn't about to do anything there.
Yeah, just covered up.
It wasn't that Holyfield was defenseless, but he wasn't returning. Hit down, covering. That showed that he's in a defensive posture where he does not want to fight back.
Ring girls joining the Belfort family.
Yeah. Holyfield all on his own over there. Meanwhile.
Would have been 49 seconds in the very first round. The winner by TKO victory.
I like how he has Jesus on his trunks in the place that a lot of other people would have their name, which you didn't know better. It might just confuse the hell out of you.
The young dinosaur.
All right, are we gonna get some words from Vitor Belfort here?
I mean,
As enlightening as I'm sure they will be.
Yeah, it was easy work for the phenom, and then I just can't help but speak to Holyfield. The first always the last
Veins
one.
in his sternum.
Put up the argument. It's a legitimate argument. I'm not out on my feet. We don't want you to go out on your
well, he's just going to talk. He's not even being interviewed. He's just talking. What? So Vitor going to talk just free form. He's going to freestyle on whatever he feels like. And then we're going to actually interview Evander ringside. What? Come on, you guys. You've seen a live event production before, right?
Someone should be shouting in both of their ears right now.
Triller, this, in addition to pioneering the terrible idea of interviewing people right before they walk out to the ring, now letting both guys do their post-fight interviews at the same time.
And one of the guys is not even being interviewed. He is just given a mic and told to just go. Like he's a pro wrestler.
Should allow, I'm telling you, she stopped the fight that quick. I'm from the guy pushed me out, the guy was strong and all that. And and the fact of the
Is he saying he was pushed down? Because we saw you get hit in the head, bro. And then you staggered and fell.
I'm not.
Do not let Evander Holyfield get in the ring with Michael Tyson.
No.
Not at this point.
How old is Mike Tyson?
He's also old, but he looks better than Evander Holyfield did in this fight.
Well, hey, what do you think about Vitor Belfort, though? He's going to stick around his boxing game. It's a quick fight. Does he have some legitimate skills?
Well, he could. The fact of the matter, he not being able to bounce back like I used to and all that, move around. I didn't get too close.
All right, well, hey, we appreciate you coming out and putting your life on the putting your career on the line.
Tom Clark asked, who would give the most entertaining rant in the UFC if given the opportunity Belfort has right now? You win a fight and they just hand you the mic and walk away.
Certainly Nick Diaz.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it would last 20 minutes and he would say the same few things over and over again. I also think Ally Akita could do some good work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. First of all, I want to thank Holyfield team for stepping up. And like I said, I kept you off people out. You bring it, I bring it back, I bring it harder. We got a list of opponents. Get ready, boxers. You gotta come to my road. Here at Triller, we're gonna make this even. We're gonna make this even. Champions, don't be afraid of weight division. Put it fine. If I lose a weight, pound, come fight me, lift me away, let's do it. Besides that, I want to call Ryan here because we got a big announcement. We know that a lot of people make money today. My knockout DraftKings, they've been a lot of money. Straight. But we got to announce that a fight is going to happen. He earned the respect, but he's still a Disney World kid. And we got $25 million. The winner take all. Let's go. Hey, Jeff Cole, stop running for me, man. I'm ready to answer. You can be my kid. You're going to meet Daddy over here at Triller. Stop running. You little bitch.
Oh my.
$25 million winner take all offer.
We want to add on. First of all, thank you.
Offered to a guy who is now under contract with Showtime.
Yeah.
World, MMA, boxing can be equal. You also showed 40 and 50 are the new 20 and 30.
No,
That's the way
no, that did not happen.
But he talks about 25 million. We at Triller are agreeing a full pro fight Vitor versus Jake Paul. 25 million winner takes all. You know, we're not done here. We'll do 30 million. Vitor versus Jake all fucking
Who's this guy? He's drunk.
Thanksgiving Day, at the 1-year anniversary, Thanksgiving Saturday, $30 million winner takes all.
6 weeks from now.
You know why. Jake, you got my respect, but I'm teaching, man. I'm gonna put you in my lab. You're gonna sing like a baby. I promise. You better start training. And listen, man, all your little fans, they're gonna be future Belfort fans. You know what? I got this. I got family, bro. I got family. You don't have family. I got family.
I mean, he does have a brother.
One of the
I mean,
main things we know
familiar
about
with
him is
his
that he has a brother, so he does have family.
Fucking now. That's the best snap Jake Paul's ever gonna get. Yes.
I want to know who this drunk guy is who keeps grabbing the mic.
I also feel like when you went to 25, when you started at 25 million and then you went to 30 million, it's not like, I mean, $5 million is a big deal, but the gap between from 25 to 30 million isn't like where I was like, well, I was not interested. Well, wait,
30.
but now you went to 30? Like now, who could possibly ignore you?
And it's time to me. It's time for boxers to let the clinch.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Grab you. If I can get a hold of you, boxers, you watch. You watch what's happening.
Calling for a revision of the rules of boxing.
Yeah. So we go from a Jake Paul call out to let us revise the Marquise of Queensberry rules.
We got 30 minutes.
I love it. All right.
Were they talking about Anderson at 185? Is that what they were saying?
Thank you.
I didn't hear what they said.
Well,
All I know is that Vitor Belfort's oldest daughter really made a face when they started talking to Donald Trump.
okay.
The 45th.
Nope. Nope. We're not. Nope. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna watch Donald Trump. I'm turning it off.
We did it. We watched the Trillers.
We did do it. Josh Carey notes, holy fuck, combat sports is just something that makes no sense and never will. True. And John Oakes notes, and with this, I cry a single tear and extinguish the stream. Yeah, that sounds about right. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I mean, we did it. We did it up. We got the we watched the Trillers.
Mhm.
I'm still thinking about Anderson Silva, basically throwing a grand total of like 4 punches against Tito Ortiz and just knocking him the fuck out.
Scott Guillory notes, we came, we saw, we suffered. Mr. JM says, I think it's safe to say we're all winners.
True.
Except for Tito.
Except for Tito.
Especially not Tito.
Yeah. Well, all right. Thank you all for joining us. We had ourselves a time. I don't feel like we're the same people that we are.
We've all
when
gone
we
through a
started.
transformation.
Yeah. Kind of journey to the underworld here tonight. Thank you for being part of it. That's all.
Good night.